Being ready. Do you know who else was ready?
Wait, nope. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Nat20Hot. We are so grateful that you've decided to spend your Wednesday with us.
Just
It is
Wednesday.
just an ordinary Wednesday, and we can't wait to share it with you. And we are so excited for this episode and to give you a little bit of insight into what happened last time. Our players made an uncharacteristic decision where they were completely aligned in their decision making and decided to venture off in pursuit of information on the Ghent apartments, a area of Hylosera marked by Annalise and Gwen in their letter exchanges as being a prime location. So, determined to investigate and learn more, they went off in an investigatory fashion of the Ghent apartments and found them to be adjacent to the Lexi Conclave's Ashen War, where Dunk had just returned from. There were a group of angry contractors and construction workers under the direction of Arena Little, the architect of grandeur, arguing with a member of the Lexi Conclave over their rights to dig deeper and basically help them do their job and the tasks that they were assigned, but the Lexi Conclave were being restrictive. They managed to get their way into the Ghent apartments, which were simply being kind of emptied and used as a staging ground for the construction workers and were currently unoccupied. Exploring some of the houses, they were able to discover a peculiar trapdoor in the basement of one of them with some odd runes that were not able to be discerned by any of the party members. Entering into the trapdoor, they found themselves in a long, winding staircase until inevitably spilling out into the pit.
Big
Trademark.
hit.
A very large pit. With a placard that read a bit ominously that it had been created and discovered by the original members of the Lavender Parlor and sealed in blood, and that it always attracts those who yearn for power. Beginning their descent into the pit, Branwen and company reasoned that this might be the location where she was attempted to be sacrificed, or at the very least killed. And Randy sent an all-seeing eye down to the bottom where it could see no more when it was so bright, and also saw one individual dangling over the side of the pit further down, as well as a fair amount of societal and civilization signs, but not a whole lot of people. As they descended, they did run into a peculiar group of creatures known as babaus, which attempted to and failed to throw Branwen off of the cliff and into the pit. And Dunk went flying in after him, her, and inevitably everyone they were able to defeat the babaus, save for one, which they have just knocked out. And Dunk, in a fit of rage and his newfound abilities to his newfound abilities to have a wider range of wild magic occur to him, promptly fell asleep, and Retcon was unable to be awakened or
We just
awakened.
left him there.
So you just left it. We're actually that is where we
He
find
tucked him in.
ourselves. That is where we find ourselves, where you are all kind of on the floor, where you've slain the six babaus. The three of them went over the cliff. So there are two bodies near you,
One is
as well
alive but unconscious.
and one is alive and unconscious. So that is where we find ourselves. What would you all
Fun
like to do?
fact, the day after last sesh, Chris asked me what kind of like emotional response was Branwen having to seeing where she was supposed to end up, and I was like, not gonna lie, I was dealing with a lot of blood loss.
But we made it through.
It was city. Okay, so Dunk is sleeping. There's a
Yes,
pit, and also a Gwen
hit
hole.
Gwen hole.
Mhm.
Don't. And you have an unconscious babao.
You just you set things up and then you expect us not to do anything with it?
Record, I didn't say it. Steph did, and then I said, don't continue
You
it.
did say oh, I guess Steph did say Gwen Hole first, but you were
Well,
I I
then you
echoed
just
it.
said the word babao, and it was funny.
Babao.
Well, babao.
Yeah. What? Are we going in the? Should we go in, in the
Like,
hole? Which hole?
now,
There's only really one hole.
Branwen, are you sure you're ready for the hole? Because if I remember correctly, you couldn't handle the hole.
The last hole you saw went very poorly. That's true.
Mhm.
You've got the physical and mental scars to
Well,
prove.
I mean, the question is more of, do we want to investigate the giant mega hell pit, or do we want to go find Gwen's lair?
What makes you think Gwen's lair is not down in the mega hell pit?
Because there was a little doorway that you were getting led to.
He was
Oh,
Did
being
I
led.
hallucinate this?
Yeah, he was being led further down.
Oh,
yeah, I didn't think there was a door. Okay. Well,
why did I think there was like a door?
probably because you were missing blood.
Anyway, yeah, let's keep going down.
Do we want to do anything with that thing over there that I left alive? I don't know, thinking Randy could read its mind, or we could do some kind of interrogation, or I don't know,
Uh,
we could scare it with the daggers and
I mean, he's probably gonna just say more of the same thing over and over again.
yeah, how big is this guy again?
The boughs are pretty large. They're just hunched over. So they're about 6 to 7 feet tall.
We could tie him up, and I could like drag him with us.
What should we do about Dunk? Should we just leave him here?
oh,
He looks so peaceful.
I
I'm
was
sure he'll
literally
be
he
he'll
looks so
be okay, and then
surely
appear.
nothing bad will happen to him in the hell pit.
I'm sure he will appear unharmed in a later time.
Should we like at least put him in like an like just roll him into an alcove or something?
What
Yeah,
if
let's
we
do
just
that.
wild magic surged away?
It
What if we
doesn't
try to
happen.
move him and the wild magic is he's currently interplanar, but just a little bit, so he can see he's like a ghost.
There are some alcoves that you could theoretically drag his body into
Yeah,
and
let's roll him
feel
into
pretty
into
confident that he
an
would be safe.
Can we
Yeah,
at least give him
we
a
leave
little
him.
like a little blankie or a pillow or something?
yeah.
Sure.
A little
Is
warm
he
milk?
snork meing or honk shooing? I think we've been over this.
He honk shoes.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Um,
Bye, Dunk.
Love you,
yeah, we
bud.
can. I will.
We all kiss him
I
goodnight.
yeah. I'm gonna tie up the bow and like kind of like put the rope over my shoulder and just
Hmm.
like start walking down into the pit, carrying him in case we need him later.
He's got that horn. It could be a carrying horn.
What if it snaps off like a lizard's tail?
If he's like
Oh.
big enough, I feel like carrying him is gonna be such a hassle.
Okay, it can be a dragon horn.
Yeah.
We could take turns dragging him if you need a break.
Oh, it's cool.
I mean, I can't. I'm not strong. I mean, I could. It'd just be really slow and.
It's fine.
16
Oh,
minutes
I'm
behind
also
is like, yeah, you can't.
She can't. Cena could. Cena's stronger than me.
He is, but even Cena's like, I can't. Not my thing.
Or stealthy gals.
As you tie up the babao, Randy, you're given kind of a bit more time to kind of get a closer look at it. It's quite slimy, and upon close inspection has very slick gray skin, but there's a lot of like ripples of red in it. It's like almost like its blood, the veins of its blood are like leaking onto its skin, which gives it a very like a bit of a sheen, but also the rope is slick and kind of moves around quite a bit. It's a very unfortunate thing to have to handle.
Is it bleeding slime?
Sorry.
Is it bleeding slime?
It's oozing. It's oozing. Yeah.
It's like oozing decomp. That's so gross.
Yes, that's exactly it.
Oh, you know how gross that is? It's really gross. I won't describe
That
it
reminds me,
further.
Steph. I have something to ask you after this.
Okay. Okay,
um
now I'm scared.
It's not. I mean, it's
Okay.
bad, but it's not that bad.
Gross.
Oh, wait, hold on. I'm
So,
extremely injured.
oh,
I
Oh,
look real bad.
do you need a little?
you're a cleric.
Do you need a little lay on hands action?
I can cast
Um,
Cure Wounds on you.
I can juice you
No,
up to 55 health.
that would be cool. Let me make sure that I can't just like heal myself real good right now.
I
Which
mean, we
I'm
might want
sure
to
I can.
conserve. We could also just sit here and take a breather. Why don't we just take like a short rest? Maybe Dunk will wake up.
Sure. Yeah, I think that might be good.
You can more
All
than
right.
certainly take a short rest. And are any of you attempting to do anything in particular during your short rest?
I would just like to kind of peer into the hole. Can I see that guy that's dangling?
No, you cannot.
Damn.
How far away was that guy?
He was several levels down.
Okay. Chris, I have in my notes that I can only be healed by a long rest. Is that
Yes.
only by a long rest and not by a short rest?
You can anything that restores your hit die, you may use your hit die. So your short
Okay.
rest, if you expend your hit die, you can use them on a short rest. But no, you cannot, like potions of healing or standard healing will not heal you.
Yep. Got it. I am going to expend some hit die to gain some health back.
I have also done that. And in world, I am taking out a spliffy, and I'm taking a little drag off of that guy, and I kind of nudge Cena and I go, pot in the pit.
Look at this.
Brutal.
The hell.
I mean, this is kind of a life or death situation.
Yeah, I feel like you want to
I
be
don't know if
pretty
now's the time.
focused.
No, yeah, this is how I focus.
Ooh.
Listen, we need him normal, and this is how he gets as normal as possible.
This is true.
It's like when you have like a surgeon that's also just a mega alcoholic and they got it down a shot or two before they
That's
do
not,
surgery, so their
no.
hand stops shaking.
Yeah.
Where are
Okay.
you going that you're being operated on by alcoholics?
I'm not being operated on by alcoholics. There's sometimes the guy that like sews people up in the big arena. Sometimes there's this one guy that he just drinks throughout the entire thing.
Yeah, I've
Mm.
never known a surgeon who wasn't an alcoholic.
I mean, tough job,
What is
probably.
a surgeon?
What?
What is a surgeon?
Is this Cena at not knowing? Does Cena not know what a surgeon? Surely there are surgeons here.
I was going to say, do we not have surgeons where we come from?
No, you have surgeons where
Does
you come from.
Cena doesn't know what a surgeon is?
No, canonically she does. I was just being funny. Um,
No.
However, as you all are taking your long rest, the babao currently kind of tied up, will like kind of slumped over, and as you're kind of coming to the end of your short rest, about 45 minutes to 50 minutes has passed. Yes, Will.
I have a question. Is the 0 on the D10 a 0 or a 10?
It's
It's a
a
0, right?
it's a 10.
The 10.
Oh, it's a 10.
Yeah.
Neat.
And it
You know
kind of
when you roll a 0 on a nat 20 or on a d20? You know how that's a possibility?
Well, sometimes things have a 0 in a digits place when you're rolling for out of 100.
I mean, you're sitting
You
there.
can't roll it.
About 45 minutes to 50 minutes has passed. The creature kind of twitches. And maybe because I'm on my AirPods, you can hear my real voice this time. What have you done to me? What have you done to me?
Hello, Babao.
It's not my name. Do not speak my name.
Your
Sorry,
name is
what is your? No, go ahead.
What is your name and your pronouns, please?
yes, please.
That's my name.
What?
And that's also
Chris,
he,
I
him. Still
I'm
nothing?
so sorry to
We can
tell
hear
you.
you, but it's very hard to
It's
understand.
so bizarre. I've got the AirPods on.
Yeah,
I
I love you, but you sound like shit.
My pronouns are he, him, And my
Oh,
name
he's so pleasant
is
now.
yes, he's so pleasant. He looks disgusting as he talks to you. His pronouns are he, him, and his name is Pitch.
Pitch.
Oh,
Yes,
It's nice to meet you, Pitch. What is going on in this pit, Pitch?
it is not the pit, it is the descent.
What's going on in the descent pitch?
I think there's
It
like
is
5 women that are going on a girls' trip spelunking, and one of them has just experienced a horrible tragedy.
Brendan's making a deep track horror movie reference.
Not deep track, pretty surface level.
What? No, it's underground actually.
Get deep track.
Um,
Oh, this is good.
we're starting off rough tonight. Um,
Is Evan the glue?
Vin's what holds it all together.
We
Um,
need him. I haven't come back.
the question was, what's the story with the pit? The descent. The descent is a tomb. It is a prison. It holds back that which once was and is no longer.
Is that Azaleas?
Do not speak her name.
Oh my god,
Oh.
her. Go off, queen.
He is our
So
queen.
if you serve the one who I will not speak the name of, how
Azaleas.
that's the one. How did it come to pass that you also serve that big old bitch Gwen?
Mistress. The mistress
Sir.
found us here and subdues us. She
Oh, are you a
promises
slave?
she promises to free her.
Oh,
She's probably lying.
she does that.
Everything's a means to an end. We are her servants, and we will see to it that she is returned upon this realm. I
Um,
thought her
m-
defeated. They were all wrong.
most of your buddies fell into the pit. If I were to fall into the pit, what would happen to me?
You would die from a great height.
Most
Okay,
of your buddies also disintegrated into thin air. Is that normal?
What?
what?
When we killed them, didn't they dematerialize into thin air?
I
No?
don't think
No.
so. I
I
think there's a dead body like 10
100%,
feet that way.
I 100% remember them just fizzling out. Okay, never mind.
No.
I wasn't the only one hallucinating last time. Let's
And
go.
that's par for the course for Willem.
Ghastly episode.
Um, there's not like an elevator or something, is there?
No. You will not
Um,
make it to the bottom.
I saw like a really bright light down there. Is that Azaleas or is that like some other kind of
Azaleas cannot come here, but her
oh
power yields and roars on occasion. It is possible you saw the bindings, that which keeps her down there. The roots run deep.
okay.
this might have been touched on last time. Have any of us heard the name Azaleas before?
You have not. Actually, that's a lie. Randy, make a history check.
What? This is a compendium thing that I forgot about. 18.
You would recall seeing the name Azaleas as a vanquished foe of the Sentinels during the later stages of the Convergence Wars. In fact, it's quite hyped up as one of their greatest conquests and victories.
Oh, that guy is supposed to be super vanquished. I guess that's or she. Sorry. I guess that's why she's down there. It's because my guys the Sentinels kind of got rid of her.
We have heard tell of your kind. We thought you all dead.
I'm new, so
Then you will
and also
fail
no.
the same as they.
Uh, we'll see, I guess.
Um, so there's other people, there's other prisoners down here, right?
He just kind of
Is that a
grunts at
yes?
you. He just kind of grunts at you.
What kind of people?
Many serve the mistress. Few serve her.
What? What does that mean?
Do not need to explain simple things to simple people.
I mean, you could always just toss them off the cliff.
How much do you value your life, Pitch?
This is the end.
What?
What?
This is not the end.
How much would you rather be farming on a co-op?
What is a co-op?
Hmm. It's like a commune.
What is a commune?
It's kind of like
It's like a thing where a bunch of people live and work together and live happy, happy lives
He
and
spit
grow
in your
crops.
general direction. This is not
Oh man.
what the mistress or Azaleus calls for.
Have you ever experienced happiness?
I look at Branwen and I go, "Good question." Yeah.
The babao or pitch just kind of. We all have different definition. My version of happiness is not like yours. I will never be truly happy until I have done the will of Azaleus. Oh my god, there's
Uh,
two of me on the stream.
Whoa. He's
yeah.
back. He's back.
Sorry. Um, would you like to be free of the mistress?
Mistress is a means to an end. If you can promise me that you will replace her work, then by all means. If you cannot, then you will meet the same fate as my companions, by my hand or many others.
That would require you to tell me what your mistress is doing down here. Before I can make any promises about finishing her work, I need to know what I'm getting into.
He has a point.
Persuasion check.
22.
Hold on one second. I'm just decreasing your volume.
I got a plus. Oh, sorry, 21. I got a +6 on persuasion.
You're
I got that
terrible.
Riz.
Hold on.
W Riz Willem.
He's full of
Gibbity.
riz.
I'm a Sigma.
Um,
Ohio.
Don't want my
the
grandma in Ohio.
pitch kind of
What?
twists his head and looks up at you. You you make a fair point. But are you not, or were you not here the first time to surrender to her?
Pitch, I'm gonna be real with you. That was a bit of a ruse.
It
Yes,
was a bit.
that much is clear. So how would you expect me to trust you with the information that she holds?
Well, here's the way I see it. You can tell me, and maybe I can get rid of her and then do what she intends to do and help you and people like you out.
You would unleash
Or,
Azaleus upon this realm.
yeah, maybe I could help with that. Um, or we could just go down there not knowing, maybe screw it all up, maybe kill the mistress, And then Azalea's probably wouldn't be very happy if there was nobody else to sort of take over where she's leaving off.
Azaleas is everlasting. She is inevitable.
Uh-huh. Sure. But I'm sure, being everlasting, she's probably getting really tired of lasting at the bottom of a hell pit.
That is her home.
Then why'd she want to be let out so bad?
Conquest.
Can we make just I'm picturing one of those like white mom signs, but it says this hell pit is a home.
Conquest.
Conquest. I love a good conquest.
So you would see to it that Our Lady is free.
Again, I need the details before I can commit to anything.
Oh, I will give you the details. You already know what she means to do, but you must promise me now
Promise you now what
that she will
exactly.
see to it that she is undone and made into this world once more.
I'm just gonna give like a side look at Branwen and Randy and look for reactions.
I'm just gonna say in his head, just throw him in the pit. Just throw him in the pit.
I could read his mind, but then maybe I couldn't read another guy's mind later.
It's just throw him
Cena?
Cena just goes,
Pitch, I'm sorry. I wish this could have been more productive, but I think it's pit time. And I'm gonna
Oh,
attempt to.
wait. What if he just hung out with Dunk? He's tied up. What is he gonna do?
He
Kill
wants
Dunk.
to kill us.
How is he gonna do that with no arms or legs?
He's gonna
So
wiggle
you're
like a
gonna
weird
leave
little
him
worm
as a.
and use his head spike to just smash Dunk a bunch.
All right, throw him in the pit. Whatever, man.
It's pit time. It's pit o'clock, I fear.
It's been fun, Pitch.
coming home.
Oh, hey Randy. Oh, never mind. I was gonna say, could you banish him, but then you just send him back to where he wants to go.
Yeah.
Just throw him in the pit.
All right. I would like to throw him in the pit, Chris.
Bye, Pitch.
It takes a bit because he is fairly large. You're able to kind of roll him
We can
over,
just
and you
roll him.
see,
We can just
Strong?
unceremoniously
yeah,
roll him.
he does
Uh,
not struggle. He kind of just lets it happen, and he descends over without a scream.
I'm gonna wave goodbye as he falls down.
Bye, bye,
Oh,
Pitch.
all
bye bye,
right.
pit.
You are not far from the stairs that continue to descend down.
I guess let's keep going if we're good after our breather.
Okay,
Yeah,
where were
I'm
we?
real jazzed to talk to this Azaleas gal.
All right, let's get
The
going.
the demon who likes
56
to
bottles of.
conquest.
We're sorkening.
Yeah,
Uh,
we're sorting.
yes.
What is your
Hey, you know
order,
who
and
else
are you
that
being
sounds like?
quiet?
I will go. Well, I think I'm
I'll.
second.
I can. I have dark vision. Who else has dark vision?
I have light. A
I have
light.
dark vision.
Okay, Willem, how about you take up the head of the line? We put our non-dark vision besties in the middle, and then I'll take up the rear.
I'm sure you will.
Okay. And are you being stealthy as you descend?
Branwen is.
I'm not.
I can at least try.
Okay. Go ahead and make your stealth checks.
I'm
We have
talking
stealthy
very
gals in the back.
Okay. What are you
By
sorkening
default.
about, Randy?
loud. I'm mostly just talking about how like I just really want to know what this Azaleas gal's deal is. I've like
You,
never like I've heard about her
you always
once.
want to know what the deal is.
Isn't it a little self-explanatory that she's, defeated by the Sentinels, chained to the bottom of a hell pit? I got an 18 on my stealth, by the way.
I only got a 14.
It might be self-explanatory that like that's what she is, but like who is she? You know, like what are her likes and dislikes? Does she like um
She's
what
hey
what does she
hey
like about? our
Guys.
world that she wants to maybe conquest, you know?
Guys, you know who she probably knows by some extent?
Who's that?
Sir.
Could be. Since
Could
Seraphil
be.
probably got rid of her in the first place. That's good. That's good. Good thoughts.
Good thoughts indeed. As you descend, you are given Randy's loud talking. You're not being incredibly quiet as you descend. This particular stairwell actually kind of descends into the rock, so you don't have as great a view of the pit itself. And as you step down into the stairwell, for about 15 minutes, you continue to walk until you just start to see like the flicker of firelight against the stone wall and a bit of orange glow at the base of the stairs. So you can't quite see beyond it, but you're also catching kind of the smell of burning meat. Um, so you can hear some light chatter.
Now I'll get real stealthy. Hey Randy, you wanna
Yeah, you got it.
Okay, Randy, you
Um,
will make a stealth check. The rest of you, that is the stealth check that you went with.
damn.
sounds good.
I got a not. I got a 2, but I get a -1, so 1.
You're like, got it. And you just continue to kind of clatter down the stairs.
And then I
Um,
trip and fall down every single stair.
you have a light stumble and then you like kind of find your footing on the landing. You kind of look up and you're in this very dimly lit cavern. You can see the pit off to the right. There's a large smoldering fire pit, separate fire pit, that dominates most of the space where you currently land
People
on.
love pits.
Love them. Around the fire, there are kind of half-eaten animal carcasses, the fat dripping into the flames. And there are a few babaus. They're tall and gangly, and they're kind of hunched over the fire. And as soon, like they're speaking in these like guttural tones, which you are catching as you do speak Abyssal. They are talking about the number of babaus that flew off of the cliff past them into the pit, and they're wondering if it's just today's batch, like that it's not an uncommon occurrence in your, but they quickly quiet down as you stumble onto the landing and their black vacant eyes look up at you. Who are you?
In Abyssal, I will say, uh, hello. Today's batch has been taken care of, no problem.
You volunteered them? Most of them like to volunteer themselves.
Well, Pitch volunteered.
Which was the He had the weird voice. He would clear his throat and it sounded normal. But he
Yeah,
pretended like he had a weird voice. That one, yeah.
yeah.
Wait a second, who are you? And one of them like picks up a spear and points it at you.
Oh,
And like the rest of you kind of come onto the landing as well. There is an owl bear if you would like to open it.
Oh, I thought you
Oh,
meant there was an actual owl
I'm
bear.
so
Oh no.
excited.
The baby.
It's a baby. How else can I talk to a baby? I get to hang out with the baby this weekend, and I'm so excited.
Oh, dang. Okay.
All right, time for draft horse.
Actually, you're a freakazoid now.
No, that's me.
What? I'm always draft horse. Everyone knows this.
I got a new internet browser, so I'm freakazoid now.
You on Mark?
I'm on Brave.
Ah, not sponsored, but highly recommend Arc. So as you've kind of made it to the landing of the fire pit, there are three babaus standing there. You can see that the space wraps around quite a bit, and at the moment you cannot see the stairwell that goes down.
Hey, Randy,
So
what?
Randy, they have asked you who you are.
Oh, Yeah, we're still speaking in Abyssal. Yeah, we're the new guys. We're here for we're here to serve the mistress. We're just gonna keep heading down if that's cool.
Make a deception check with advantage, as you mentioned the mistress.
Okay. What is my deception? Okay. 18.
The one like immediately kind of relents. More normies. Fine. Stairwells out there. And he kind of points way across and goes, "You're heading down to the mistress's level."
Yes, yeah, that's where we're headed.
And from the butchery. Fresh meat to bring down.
Wait, say that again?
Stop by the butchery. Fresh meat to bring down.
Yep, you got it. You can tell we're kind of new here, so like, just point us in the direction of that. It's his first time like down, this far.
Points just down around the bend to here and says that this is the butchery. Um, and then says that the stairwell is located over here, um, inside of like a room. And he kind of looks at you. He goes, "New. So they told you the way down."
Yes.
Make a deception check.
Ah. Oh, nat 20.
He
Wait,
kind of
what is the
shrugs.
Nat 24? I had to call my mom.
Deception.
Nice. Okay.
He kind of shrugs and goes, "Fine. Guess they'll let you down."
Yeah, I guess, they just recognize talent when they see it. Sorry.
Bares his teeth at you, and you can see it that's slick with sinew and blood from the indiscernible animal that's currently hanging over the fire.
He doesn't have really nice veneers.
It does not.
Come on, guys, and I'll cast light on a little pebble so I can. I guess I'm leading everybody now in the direction to the butchery.
Randy, what the fuck is happening?
That's the most I've ever convinced anyone of anything ever.
Okay, what's happening?
Well, we're going to the mistress's lair.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Layer, yeah.
Okay.
They refer to them as layers.
I was gonna say spelled Layyer.
Yes,
Oh.
Like an onion.
exactly like an onion.
It's
Or
like
an ogre.
Correct. Okay, you arrive at the butchery. The door is like pretty much wide open, so you're very able to just kind of see inside once I, figure this out. But inside there is another babao. As you enter, it's just gore and death painting the entire room. Like carcasses of all kinds hang from these crude hooks, and there's just blood kind of dripping onto the stained stone floor. The table on the opposite side, with this arched back of the butcher, it kind of just slick with blood and piled high with all number of limbs. Some of them are, though barely, recognizable as humanoid. The Babao kind of turns around with a butcher's cleaver and hacks it down onto the table. And what brings you here?
Hello. I was told that you had some new meat to bring down to the mistress's lair. Again, all in Abyssal. We're new here, but the mistress is asking for us to go to her lair with some meat.
You'd want the one that they killed last week, then. Just finished the butchery this morning.
Oh, that's
Um,
great.
and he kind of pulls out a barrel, and there's like very clearly legs and arms and all manner of like eladrin, like very clearly an eladrin. in this barrel, and they kind of push it over to you. And they go, enjoy. The mistress has
Thanks, man.
plans for it.
Is there anything identifiable in this bag or this barrel of flesh?
Make an investigation check.
Not good at that. 12.
No, you kind of like you look down into the barrel. You see feet. You see an arm. You don't see any recognizable facial features. The barrel is filled with all manner of entrails and just it is every bit of whomever this was. Um, and you do kind of retch a little bit and look up and you scan the wall on the opposite side of the butcher, which just reads "In blood, the feeding."
The feeding. Did you do that? Is that your art?
Reminds me of my good work, the art I painted here.
That's awesome, man. It's pretty cerebral.
If you're interested, he kind of shrugs towards the closed door right here, where you can kind of see smoke just billowing out a little bit from the doorway, and he goes, "That's where the real work's done."
Oh, and I look back at my friends and I go, yeah, I'll check it out real quick.
Are you speaking Abyssal or Common?
Abyssal, so I guess you guys don't understand, but yeah.
He hears in his head, what?
I'm gonna go check out his art.
Jeff, do
As
you
you
speak
open,
Sylvan?
Yeah.
In Sylvan, I'm gonna say, I think we maybe should kill everybody.
Randy, as you open the door, the smoke kind of catches in your throat, and you're immediately you choke just a little bit on the scent of like what is very clearly charred flesh and sulfur and just bitter air. And there are a handful of babaus in there that are not in the owlbear, might be. So there are two babaus in that room that are kind of like tending to a fire where there's just like hunks of dried meat hanging and like smoking in this room where this like infernal fire is just lining with smoke, and they are clearly cooking this meat.
The bowel
Uh,
bear.
I close the door and I go, that's awesome. Well, we're gonna take this barrel down, and I speak in common. Come on, guys, take this barrel. We're going down.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
All right.
I will attempt to hoist the barrel.
Make a strength check. It is pretty heavy.
Wish Dunk was here.
Does Branwen
I'm
help
cool
at
with
all?
this. I'll try. I'll try to help.
Well, I rolled a nat 1, so that barrel contents is gonna
I'll
probably wind up
try.
on the floor.
Does he get a chance to help?
With my
Sorry.
modifier, it's 5.
You get advantage because Branwen is helping.
Okay. Okay, well, that one was a 19, so 20.
Yeah.
Or
This is
sorry,
that
20.
counterbalance that you need.
Initially, like, you kind of wrap your arms around it and it's like it's slick with blood and other things. Like immediately, you kind of like drop it almost instantly. But Brandon comes up and like, kind of props your arms up and does your best not to touch it. You're really kind of wrap them around, and you can't really throw it over your shoulder because it's open. So it's taking up all your physical movement to lift and carry this thing.
Can I help him by just like finding like a scrap of cloth and you know, and like move on when they're using the bits of cloth? It's just extending his grip a little bit.
That's fine. It's still he
That's
still
what I
has
need
to spend both of his arms to keep it
Yeah.
steady. But yes, he
This
can
is,
walk with it.
this is icky.
Let's go faster.
Yeah, once we're like far enough away from the door, I kind of start speaking in common to the gang, and I go, "Yeah, I got no idea what the fuck is going on." But they're asking me. Basically, they think that we're new here, and we're going down to the hag lair, and we gotta take this thing down there. And I feel like the easiest way to get down there is to just kind of go along with it for now. Is that cool, Dylan?
I mean, sure. We should probably talk about how we're going to get out of here eventually, because we might have to fight our way out of all of these people anyway.
Could be. Or I could cast a recall, and then we could all just go back.
Except for Dunk, who's asleep in an alcove.
That's true. I forget about that.
We can go back and get him.
Yeah, he's not that far down. We can go back.
He's hidden.
Are we? I mean,
Can I retcon that we left a note?
he's
That's
sleeping
why you
in-
always leave you notes.
We were like, go back upstairs. We love you.
You can also just send him a telepathic message at any time.
Yeah, but I don't know what it's gonna be. What if I try to sing one and then he's still sleeping, so he doesn't answer, but I think he's dead. I've had him with Elray before.
Oh, yeah, good point. I guess it figures that they're eating people. What else would they be doing?
They might they might not be eating them.
They're definitely cooking them.
They're just butchering them and cooking them for no.
Necromancy is a art of technically it's an art, a magical art, technically
That's true.
speaking. They probably need opponents or something. Oh, what is that?
Scarecrow Crunch. The amount of food that I have left in my cupboard. It's definitely over a year old.
Hell
Oh
yeah.
no!
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're eating these people, but okay, Branwen.
Lead us down farther into the pit.
5 gold that it's necromancy.
5 gold, that is for eating purposes.
I'm talking about this specific barrel though.
Sure, I'll take you up on that.
Okay, cool.
Gwen seems like she would eat flesh.
Gwen seems like she'd do necromancy.
So you get down to this bend here and you find that the path of the landing is slightly blocked by this rock slide that descended down. It's going to take off part of the landing. So you have to essentially go into the hallway where you do see a number of rooms. Your goal is you're speedrunning it.
Or Randy could just shape the stone of the rocks fall.
Or
Can't
she's
take that much
actually looking
stone.
at those doors and going, "It's a treat."
That's a lot of stone shape.
Here.
To be clear, my goal is not to speedrun this. I'm happy to
I'm
get through
just-
as much as we get.
What if there's right? We're here to look for evidence that Gwen's super evil.
I think we're going to kill Gwen.
Maybe there's something
Down
important.
here?
I'm actively lock picking one of these doors.
Which one are you
Okay.
lockpicking?
Just close this one. One would be yeah, that one.
Branwen, I can tell you how to do your job. Do you maybe want to put your ear against there and see if
I
there's
put my ear against it. Lock picking, and I listen for traps.
Make an investigation check.
That is a 7.
You don't hear anything out of the ordinary.
just ordinary hell bit noises.
Make a sleight of hand
Yeah.
check.
As she's doing that. Oh, good.
That's a 13. I'm rolling like turds today.
Fortunately, or unfortunately for you, it's a very easy lock to pick because
Yay.
it's a very crude wooden door that as soon as you
It
open
was
it,
locked.
no, it was locked. You immediately see a babao sleeping. That was me coughing, not the babao.
Oh, I thought he was twitching in his sleep like he was having a little
That's
dream.
what
He is
is he
twitching.
running? Is he running?
He's running, yes. But it's filthy. Bloodstains, like rags in the bed. You see a lot of food drawings that are scratched into the stone wall. It's kind of like sweat, rot, decay. It's an awful room.
Are the drawings
gonna-
like of a bow holding hands with Asalius that's like me and the master or whatever?
No, they're all runes, which you've seen quite a bit of but don't understand.
Can I just quietly close the door and then kind of fudge the lock so it's stuck?
Yeah, that's fine.
Hey,
Where to next?
I don't mean to be like a killjoy, but it might look a little bit more legitimate if we're not trying to break into rooms. It's just
Hey,
a barrel of flesh.
let's deliver the flash barrel.
Randy, what if there's something cool or important in one of these rooms?
I feel like anything that's cool or important is going to be on Gwen's
I
layer.
feel like if Randy is suggesting that we continue on, that's a wild sign. I think we should follow it.
Okay. Well, I have no strong opinions about this. I'm just saying there could be cool stuff.
Oh, I think it's an absolute shame, and there could be cool stuff.
I mean, if I went along and I made it look like I'm having a hard time with the flesh barrel, and you and Cena maybe just stayed back for like a few feet and opened stuff and saw if anything was cool. And I could make a big show of being like, trying to push the flesh barrel.
I'm scared that there's gonna be. Let's just continue. I think we should continue.
Right.
Oh, thank God. Ah, God.
You all make your way around the bend and down the hall, where the very thin air hallway opens up into a much larger space. There's a flickering light. There's a torch held by a very different babao. Like it's much taller. Its legs and arms aren't as thin. They're more built and muscular. It does have like some food robes. It is actually wearing some manner of clothing, and it's holding what is effectively a tiki torch, because it's a staff with a flame on top. And he's standing before this brilliant statue. In terms of its like height and grandeur, but it's actually like a very crude visage. It's not. It wasn't done by artisans. It was done by fanatics. It is a horned visage, its face twisted into a grim sneer. At the foot of the shrine is a number of like ritual tools, daggers, chalices, scrolls. The only things that are laid out in meticulous order. There's clearly that kind of similar scent of burnt flesh, almost like offerings that kind of hang in the air. And a crude altar has been built at the base of the statue of who you can only assume is Azaleus. And beyond them, an empty fountain, or rather a fountain that is filled with a viscous red liquid, but it doesn't immediately strike you as blood. The creature is kind of standing there in front of it, muttering, and doesn't really pay you much mind as you enter.
I look to Randy.
In that case, we're just going to keep going.
Beauty comes in all forms, but she is not very pretty.
Kind of like if you've seen the the Lion King 1.5.
Yeah.
Never mind.
No, go
please.
on.
Go on. Somebody out there watching they love Lion King and a half.
When Timon and Pumbaa go in to try to find their home, they end up in like the hyena place, and then they start doing the Be Prepared song, and they're all both like, because they're all doing like Nazi shit in front of them. And they're like, oh, it's like awkward for them to be there. That's what we're doing. So we're just kind of like slowly like dragging this huge barrel of flesh across the ground.
Is Lion King 1.5 just Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead?
I don't know what that is.
I think so, yes.
Huh. All right. Anyway.
I forget that most of the Lion King and early Disney properties were all stolen. All right, you continue to head down the hall, paying absolutely no mind to this creature.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Chris. I know this is
No,
probably
no. First of all, there's a lot of comes, and second of all, yeah, see, every once in a while, Cena just goes, particularly everything down here looks pretty destroyed. You don't necessarily think that you're missing out on anything of significant
Cool.
value. You do, however, inevitably, I'm sorry, I'm not updating the owlbear. I'm kind of relying on you guys to move your characters.
Oh, I have not been doing that.
That's fine. You can just
You
tell us
do
when
it-
we end up somewhere.
You do inevitably end up right there in front of a massive iron door. You are now kind of directly across from where you landed on the fire pit, like across the way. You can kind of see the glimmer of the fire. The door is covered in glowing runes. You've been seeing like very similar places etched into the wall on some of the papers that you found, and it's clearly locked and heavily reinforced. It seems fairly out of place compared to like the crude architecture of the village that you've found so far. And below the door, there's this kind of like pulsing red crystal resting atop a pedestal that kind of casts a bit of a red, eerie glow.
Randy, I'm sorry. You gotta let them. You gotta let them get that. If you want to get that.
It looks like a
Randy.
scary thing to touch.
It's definitely a scary thing to touch.
Which means it
Can I-
shouldn't be here.
Can I examine it? Oh yeah, you do that.
Cast Identify on it.
You may. And can you read me identify specifically?
I can choose one object. I have to touch it.
Well-
But if it's a magic item or other magic into object, its properties, and how to use it.
I'm going to go ahead and have you make.
Affecting the item.
You will now need to make a Constitution saving throw. Actually,
Yeah.
all of you do.
Within
Might
10
be.
feet, add to
All of us?
All of you.
All of us.
Oh boy.
But do we get a +2? You said.
Yep,
Plus
everybody
2.
gets +2.
Okay. 16.
13?
13.
Branwen and Willem, you take
1 point.
No points.
You gain temporary hit points? Crazy, dude.
12 necrotic damage. And what is effectively happening is entering turn-based mode. As Randy places his hand atop the gem, this kind of crack, and everything seems to slow down around you as these like pulsing waves of necrotic energy just lash out and seem like fill the immediate space around you. And you can lurch over as the power overtakes you. Branwen and Willem, you're kind of subdued to it. And Randy and Cena, I will give an action to attempt to do something about it.
I'm gonna take my hand off the orb or the thing.
It does not do anything. What is your action?
Oh, is it movable? This prism or whatever this is?
So it is. It seems to be upon very cursory look since you immediately touch it. It seems to be attached to a pedestal, but you can make an investigation check as your action to determine that.
I guess. Wait, did my identify do anything?
I would say yes. You can cast identify it, and identify tells you if it's influenced by magic.
It tells me, yeah, if there's any spells affecting the item, what they are. It tells me anything about it that's magical, basically.
It is a magical artifact. It is cursed, and it is cursed by an infernal ritual that could theoretically be disarmed by like. It's written in runes, so you could reason a guess that you could attempt to abuse those runes to ward them out.
Okay. With my action, I'm gonna drink my potion of comprehension so I can read those runes.
Okay, you are now able to read Infernal, and you can see that these are Infernal runes, and it is effectively just a like a. Might be interesting if I name this. It's a spell of death
Nice.
that just exudes death energy,
Ow.
and yeah. Tina will use her action to attempt to deface the stone in a disarm trap kind of way. Roll a 21. So she kind of takes her trap tools and immediately kind of scratches across the runes, and the necrotic energy fades. And Randy, you feel that the runes are kind of replaced by something that you could theoretically interact with.
Okay. How so?
Potentially by touching it again.
In a good way?
In a good way. Nothing bad will happen to you.
Okay, thank you. I will touch the runes.
Okay. You can make an intelligence check or a religion check, your choosing, to potentially discern the question that needs answering.
Okay. I
Christina,
got
I'm just
a,
like, you're so smart.
You
I
kind
got
of
a,
twirls her little tool and slips it in her pocket.
I got a 19 for religion.
Yes. So you would understand that these runes represent various aspects of the contract that was signed between the Lavender Parlor and Azaleas. And it asks you how many souls have been given to Azaleas.
Like total? Ever?
Indeed. Yes.
Oh, that's an unsolvable riddle. I tell them.
Oh, easy, easy. Just say some or lots.
Or not enough.
Never enough.
Yeah, some or lots or never enough.
As you say never enough, the runes around the iron door glow and the
No fucking
pedestal
way.
sinks, as does the door.
I did it.
Was that
It
planned, Chris? That solution?
would have taken a couple of different answers. That one was a good one.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Um, that's great. um, all right.
You also could have cast Dispel Magic.
Oh, well, that's less fun.
That would have been
Yeah.
easier.
That's less fun and less
Um,
spooky.
Yeah, well, that's sick. All right.
the door opens beyond you.
So, what is that?
For the record, I just want to say that Sienna and I both said that the stone would be scary to touch, and it was.
You were
We
right.
should listen to women more,
Always.
except when they're evil.
You all can make
Most
a
of the
perception
women
check
we meet.
as you enter or pass through the door.
Oh, I did good. It's my first good roll of the day. That is a 24.
You find kind of like kicked under a box pile of rocks. I don't know, I was gonna say bucket of rocks. Pile of rocks on the other
I
side of
have
the
one of
door on the
those.
floor. As you kind of like walk, you catch just like a little glint of metal, and there's a small little like unlocked lockbox, just like a small metal box that's currently being hidden underneath the stones. Opening it, you find a scroll of dispel magic,
Ah,
a talisman of warding, and a pair of daggers.
Daggers, I don't even look at them. I just hand them to Cena.
Christina goes, "Ooh, pretty," and they are really
Uh,
nice. They're like jewel encrusted.
okay, wait. And a glyph of what?
A talisman of warding.
Talisman of Warden. What does that do?
You could spend some time with it, attempting to make an Arcana check upon it, but that would take you 20 minutes, or you could cast Identify upon it.
I'll just carry it in my pocket for a second.
Okay. All right, you guys progress forward.
I think we do.
Correcto.
All righty, you head down a level.
We leveled down.
There's
Or
no
Oh,
there's no
spiders.
cloud there's no cloud here, because you can hear that there's not a lot happening. Go ahead and make a perception check as you descend.
1.
10.
16.
Branwen, you can like very clearly see what look like the remnants of a almost what you might akin to on the surface as a shopping mall. And that this might have been at one
What?
point an ecosystem of commerce for some kind of civilization that dwelled down here. However, everything is in complete disrepair. As you step down the landing, I have to add your little characters to this.
You can just add one for now.
I think that's fine, yeah. It's Randy. So you come
Yay!
down, those stairs. You can see the stairwell on the far side. Immediately in this landing here is what almost seems to be the remnants of a tavern. There are like broken wooden beams hanging from the ceiling that were clearly propping up, and this was like dug out from the pit. Overturned tables, shattered chairs. But what you also see are thick cobwebs everywhere, as well as a handful of old, dried spider corpses dangling from the ceiling.
You know what this means?
No.
Neither do I.
Oh. Well, if I were to hazard a guess, I would say this area was once occupied by large spiders.
Or
Yes,
still.
spider webs also crisscross across the pit.
I think we should avoid the spider webs.
I think we should set them on fire.
That seems very noticeable.
Hmm. But if um a spider that
Well,
they know
well,
when you touch the web, so if you set them on fire, you sort of like take away the spidey senses.
yeah, but they also know that someone set fire to their web.
Yeah, but like
Also, we need to deliver this bucket of human people or Eladrin people. So I'm assuming that the spider is like chill with that.
Yeah, probably, right?
Well, I'll have you make a strength check to like, continue to hold up the barrel without
You're doing
incurring any
great.
penalties.
nat 20.
Very
Holy
well.
shit.
It got
You
The
lighter.
chose
wrong thing to roll an at
non-capable.
20 on, but
No, I think this was perfect.
All right. There is also the remnants of a crane directly in front of you. I realize I forgot to point that out.
Like the
That
bird.
seems to seems to descend deep, or have a pulley that descends deeper into the pit.
We could also take this shortcut.
That how structurally sound does this look?
Make an investigation check.
if it's not structurally sound, you could always feather fall us down.
We don't know how far down we need to go. 14.
Does not look structurally sound.
Yeah, let's not
Even
take this.
as you
Let's
look
go to the
at it, it
stairs.
seems to go.
I'm assuming you just made a creaking noise.
I did.
I did it for. Let's just go to the stairs. Let's go to the stairs.
Yeah.
All right. Um,
Let's try to go quietly if we can.
all right.
Yeah.
Make a stealth check as you go, and if whomever is leading would like to make an active perception check, that is also fine.
Am I still in the lead? Even
I'll
though I'm a
lead
barrel boy?
since you're a barrel boy. I did bad on stealth, but I'll do a.
Yeah, I got a 1 on stealth.
I got a 6.
I got a 7. No, I got more than that. Just kidding. No, yeah, I did get a 7. No, I got an 8 on stealth. Roller coaster there for not
Wait,
much payoff.
am I
I'm
leading?
glad I was tall enough to ride it.
Yep. And then 18 on perception. I'm leading.
My wife. Tall enough
Um,
to ride it. I don't know.
roller coaster. As you walk around the bend, Branwen, while you are all being impossibly loud, like you don't even notice that Cena is with you. She's being so quiet until finally she just goes,
He's so great.
"Nice. Are you kidding?" As like every
Sorry.
stone you kick, it goes into the pit and it clambers. You step on a bone that snaps beneath your feet. Branwen, as you're kind of scanning the rooms as you walk by, you do see at the far end of this one over here another red liquid fountain. And then like the liquid kind of pours out of this grotesque mouth that is clearly Azaleus once more. And more like faint glowing runes kind of surround that particular fountain.
Uh,
There,
read.
go ahead. Well,
You can
Can I
read
read?
those.
Randy, you read them. And you can read what appear to be, it says, the blood flows deeper still. Below lies the truth of Azaleas.
I read it out loud.
Spooky. Okay.
Can we just take a second for a second? What's
Wait a
the
second for a
plan here
second.
exactly?
No, it's your mom.
We're gonna go down there and we're gonna kill Gwen, who also can't die because we don't know what her heart stone is, and also it's the lair of a demon, maybe.
Oh, I thought you were just here to like investigate. I didn't know that there was
Yeah.
killing Gwen on the table.
Well, if she is there and attacks us, we don't really have much of a choice.
I guess that's true. I kind of thought she was up there dealing with like, important
Other
shit.
shit.
I thought that too, but all of the babows talking about, oh, you're going to the mistress, you're going to surrender, she needs meat for some reason, makes
She
me think
comes and
she's down
goes.
here.
I mean, it's her lair. She doesn't always have to be there. She could come and go.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like we're like never at the Marigold Estate, even though we technically own it.
I miss that place so fucking much.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just like a little bit concerned about everything, but I guess strict recon mission, that's fine.
I think the closer that we get, I can do a little bit, more intelligent recon, and we can really, see what lies ahead, just to make sure that it's unoccupied at the time.
Real talk, I'm also a little bit scared because Chris sent me a message a while ago that said, "Are you ready to take on Gwen?" or something in that flavor.
Chris sends me threatening messages all the time.
Chris has never threatened me, not even once.
Seriously?
Chris
It's
is my
definitely
friend.
not true. He just doesn't get it.
He's always like, fun joke. And I'm always like, what are you doing, Christopher?
There's like one time where Randy went or Brett went, wait, what? after I said something where he's like, neat.
I
And
don't
I can't even
remember.
remember. I can't even remember what it was.
Was it recent?
I think so.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
well,
I remember.
yeah. All right. You guys inevitably. I mean, assuming you're not stopping and investigating anything more closely, what you do see as you walk around Bramlin is a lot of spider bodies. No spiders, just spider bodies.
Dead Spideys.
Are
A
they
less interesting
mutilated
sequel.
in any way?
So can I
No,
tell
they.
how they died?
You can approach it and make a nature check if you'd like.
Nat 20
Hmm.
Yo, we're rolling
Yeah,
pretty
for a
good
total
tonight.
of
yeah.
20.
You spend a decent time kind of like walk over and you immediately see it as soon as you approach. Like whatever, very clearly like stab wounds from spears and claw marks. Like they were clearly you wager a guess that they might have been cleared out by the babao. But there are also like signs of non-crude weapons, like fine swords as well.
Okay, guys, I think this was an extermination of Spideys.
Oh,
That's fine.
by those
The
things?
bababows.
Okay.
I could cast Speak with Dead. We could talk to one.
Can
I think
you
that'd be a
speak
waste of
to
Speak with Dead.
animals?
No.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
I think that would be a waste of Speak with Dead.
I mean, if you wanted to speak to dead anything, I'm sort of curious about this vat of flesh, but
Well, we know what that deal is.
no,
Made
we don't.
Is
Angie.
there
They
is
don't.
there a
They dead.
discernible face in the vat of flesh?
no, you have to dig into it.
I could
Please
do
don't.
that.
Please don't dig into it.
I think we
I
should dig
bet there's.
into
I
it.
bet there's going to be a much more helpful dead body down in Gwen's.
And I'll preface that like previously you've spoken to skeletons and things like nothing in here is assembled in a way that would afford you the opportunity to speak to it.
All we need is a head.
Yeah, I think you need at least.
Yeah.
I Willem am and also Nolan am convinced that this is Selfina Duke.
Do you want me to look at the bits?
Who's Selfina?
Oh,
I know what she looks like.
that is the former steward of the Verdant Throne before Gwen took over, and she was in jail.
I feel like Sophina Duke would get a much more dramatic end than this.
I do recall reading in a letter something akin to the sooner the fat bitch is gone, the better.
Yeah, but I feel like it's not going to be just this, you know?
I don't know, fed to the demon at the bottom of the pit seems like a
Okay,
pretty
it's fine.
good.
Pull out bits of her and whoever this is, I'll see if I know who it is. Is that what you want?
Let's go
Oh,
fishing!
No,
You
you're
can-
you're
I don't
you're
want
right,
this.
Branwen. This is a bad idea.
Thank you. Okay, let's go.
I am just like hand posed above the
No,
gore
no,
barrel
no,
ready.
no, no,
Oh,
no, 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 no.
Willem, we got to get this barrel of flesh down to your hag mom.
who's hopefully not here.
Yeah, right.
Right.
All right.
It's just I've been carrying the flesh barrel and it's made me curious about the flesh
You
barrel.
want me to carry the flesh barrel? None
No,
of us want that.
No,
No,
you
you
couldn't do it.
can't.
You can't.
Yes,
do
I know, but you keep bringing it up.
It's just, I have to haul a barrel full of flesh. I
as,
wish Dunk was here because he'd probably mind this less.
as is his burden to carry the flesh barrel.
Well,
Anyway,
on we go, I suppose.
you all make your way around the landing and inevitably to another set of stairs that you descend down. Willem, I will have you make a strength check as you approach the next landing.
You want me to spill this barrel so
Can I help him down the stairs and just be like that?
No, it's
like
not
just
about
little
spilling.
counter?
It'll just impact you, Willem. You're carrying a very heavy thing.
Okay.
This is a check.
Yes.
Well, that would be a 12.
I'm going to say that if you fail one more check, you will incur a level of exhaustion.
Okay.
And you're just
They don't
starting
have like
to,
a cart
you are
or
descending
something.
and walking with this thing quite a ways, and going down the steps is a pretty heavy burden.
Is it leaking?
No, it's a well cooped barrel.
Well cooped.
Whoever
Say what you
cooped this
will about
barrel,
will about the cooking skills of the Babao. They're coopers. 10 out of 10.
incredible.
Oh my god, just like Emily Cooper from Emily in Paris.
Stop it immediately.
I don't think this is anything like Emily in Paris.
It's just like Emily in Paris. You
I
know
mean,
when
we're
Gabrielle
kind of-
has to carry the flesh bucket down a pit?
I was gonna say we're kind of going on foreign exchange right now.
This is
You
just like Emily
arrive
in Paris.
as you step down the stairs, and it opens up to a very grand landing. Randy, leading the way, you immediately recognize this as like the far different and more artistic landing. The atmosphere has changed immediately from the crude construction above. Marble floors that gleam quite faintly, ornate carvings on the walls, hefty pillars and archways that hold up the ceiling of the pit and descend deeper into the rock. Branwen, you immediately recognize this as palace architecture. And there are faint flickering lanterns that line the hall, their flames steady but dim. And while it is all very dusty, this is unmistakably part of the palace.
Guys, I think we're in the palace.
The
Okay.
pit, the pit connects to the palace.
You know, doesn't feel surprising.
A history check.
That's a 17.
The design and the architecture is so familiar, but unfamiliar in a sense that you feel you've seen this through someone else's eyes.
Like in the spooky vision that was given to me by a little guy.
Indeed. You have seen this place through Walder's eyes.
So I've been here before. Would I have seen myself in this place?
Yes.
Fuck. Oh, Jesus. Wait. Sophina Duke could be down here somewhere.
Yeah, she could be in this barrel. And if she was down here anyway, that's really
I've
easy to
been.
get into a barrel.
Now, like, jokes aside, Willem, no, she could be down here.
Yes, I know.
I was down here once.
Why were you down here?
Back when they were gonna put me in the pit.
Did you just not remember that you were down here until now?
Wait, have we talked about this?
I thought we did.
I knew they were gonna sacrifice you, but like that's it. Your mom intervened and like stopped it.
No.
No,
Walder
your
did.
mom Walder did. Your mom definitely wanted you
Yeah,
sacrificed in the pit.
he knows that this place is here because he came down here and told them that my mom had changed her mind and I was here.
So had a sack over
Okay.
your head, so you wouldn't have seen anything.
Yeah, I couldn't see anything and I don't remember. I was, you know,
Unconscious.
yeah, I
Having a
was
bad
kind of
time.
doing bad. Yeah. So Sophina could be down here. Not in a
Agreed.
barrel.
Less agreed.
What are these big doors that I see?
Yes, these lead deeper into the facility, if you would choose to enter them.
Branwen, do you think it's maybe worth? I guess we could maybe poke around here.
I would be extremely careful.
I want to push the door open just a little bit so I can poke my head through and look on the other side.
Make an investigation check. The doors are massive. So this is a very open-aired archway, and like the door does push open, but it grinds pretty loudly against the stone floor.
Is there any evidence of recent or current occupancy or use, or is it like dusty and abandoned like the floor above?
You can make an investigation check as well.
Can it be perception, Chris, since I'm just looking in?
Yeah, you're generally looking. You can make a perception check. Willem is looking for signs of life.
I got a 3.
Oh, okay.
I got a nat 1.
Okay. It is a very big room inside, but you don't notice anything out of the ordinary.
Can
It's
I
too
look
dark for you.
Can I
Big
look
room.
for the area that I would recognize as seeing in that vision?
If you kind of follow Randy, you would and look over his shoulder. That is what you see.
That door that he's trying to get through?
Yes. So this space right here is where you recall, and you can see that the wall back here has been recently collapsed. It is a recent rockfall that blocks it off from the rest of the palace. Um,
Do,
make a perception check as you enter.
that is a 16.
You can see on one side a very large mural that depicts a large number of like clearly regal and noble Eladrin. Um, it shows them looking up at a shadowy figure who resembles the statue you saw above, who kind of whispers to them. The inscription in Sylvan reads, "She cannot die and offers wealth beyond measure, but we are wise." You also rolled high enough in your perception to see that there is a small group of footprints, um, of like 4 different sets of footprints that show that a group might have passed through recently.
I am going to start to follow them.
It leads out of this room and back into kind of the general entryway. You can follow them into a number of different rooms. Like you've now caught them where they seem to be like walking around and exploring this particular area. Like they could go
Uh,
into any one of these rooms.
yeah, I'll continue to follow.
Okay. Um, Left or right do you follow?
Head
They
is
break
right.
off. Okay. You
I go
open
left.
a. You
I go left.
opened.
Sorry,
You
I was
go.
flipping a coin.
I thought you said right.
I said heads is right.
Got it. You walk into what is a fairly small, modest office, largely untouched. Pretty simple wooden desk, bookshelves. It feels abandoned, but not in disrepair, which is important to note. There's still kind of like this faint sense of incense that lingers, even though it's clearly been a while since it's been utilized. The desk is neatly organized and a quiet, contemplative place. It doesn't. Everything in this space is not nearly as in disrepair as the places that you've seen up until this point.
But doesn't look recently used.
No, you can make an investigation check then.
17.
Okay. As you kind of scan the room, you see a letter left on the desk. It's half written and clearly abandoned in haste. Um, it's read, "The Lady Lightly defiled this floor, and we can hold her out no longer. The eight shall guide us. Beware her influence. It seeps even through the sanctum we have created here." And it kind of
Wait, so the lady
trails off.
lightly defiled this floor.
We can hold it no longer, but the eight shall guide us above. Beware her influence. It seeps even through the sanctum we have built here. He starts to write more, but he trails off.
Do I
You
recognize
can
that
make
handwriting at all?
you do not recognize the handwriting, but you can make an investigation check to see if you can catch kind of like what he was attempting to write at the end.
Mm-mm.
I'm so sorry. Can you repeat that one more time? It sounded important to gods.
It wrote, it written, "The lady lightly has defiled this floor. We can hold it no longer, but the eight shall guide us. Beware her influence. It seeps even through the sanctum we have built here."
Okay.
Branwen, you would have also found a scroll of sanctuary left behind on the desk.
I passed that to Randy.
Is this letter old?
Old-ish. Couple months, maybe.
That's actually quite new in the grand scheme of things.
Correct. In the scope of everything that you found, this is very recent.
Guys, I think it's worth checking out these rooms.
Seems like this is some kind. Do you know who the eight are?
Do I know who the eight are?
You all know who the eight are. It's the eight divine, the eight gods.
Those are the gods
Oh, we're doing
Kind
it
of what I
sky.
Assumed,
We're doing
but I was
Skyrim rules here.
that were
Yes.
once the 18 or so, and then they all died, and now it's only 8.
Do I find the expression of religiosity odd? Because from what I've gathered,
Sure.
like most people don't give a shit about the gods.
You've been to a high number of places that would discredit that thought.
We've been to a temple, and Randy
We've
has
been
been
to
to a
so many
thing.
temples,
You've
dude.
been to so many temples.
Where have we been besides the Temple of Alari?
Went to the
We
Temple of Alari, the Temple of Isolde, Adar's Sanctuary in
Isolde
Silverhaven,
is what I was
Adar's.
thinking, not Alari. Alari, I thought it
Yeah.
was more of a grave than a tomb, or than a temple, rather.
It was kind of her
the spa,
place,
I believe, also used to be a temple.
correct?
That
There are
is
plenty of
correct.
people who
A
believe
lot
in
of people
God.
do care about the gods here.
Okay. People just don't
Um,
talk about it a lot.
It's kind of like ever present.
do the footprints lead anywhere else?
Like I said, they're kind of going between all of the rooms.
Okay. Next room? Let's go to the next room.
I'll move Randy's little token around, so you are in here.
Mm-hmm.
Let me confirm that. Nope, you're in here. There is another
Oh,
room
well,
right off of that,
yes, please.
which is a bedroom. Simple, functional, a small cot and wash basin with a wooden chest at the foot of the bed. There is the symbol of the 8 atop the bed, and it is at some point there was clearly some kind of protective ward on this room.
Anything in the chest?
You can open it safely, and inside there are a number of vestiges of a cleric, as well as prayer beads of protection. Um, and there is also
Hospice for Randy.
there is also a nope,
A what?
nothing.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Maybe you want to look closer.
Yes, I would like to look closer.
Okay, make an investigation check.
That is a 13.
As you're kind of like simming through the things in the chest, you kind of look up as you're about to shut it, and just as you're about to shut it, you see that a book has been taped to the underside of the chest, and ripping it open is a journal.
Yeah.
Every
I
session, I'm
pass it to
like, I
Randy.
gotta figure out some ways to tell them information that aren't in a journal. And then I just go, nah, they're expecting it. Also, people had nothing else to do except write. As you kind of thumb through the pages very quickly, though, it is the diary of an absol, which you are familiar with. These are priests of the full divinity. So they are responsible for adhering kind of rather than like honoring one particular god, they keep the faith of the entire 8. Um, and the journal documents what are very clearly assumptions about what's happening below. Um, and Rain, sorry, what they believe to be nefarious practices by what they originally, as you kind of thumb through the early pages, assumed were the Lexicon-clave. But you need to
What
spend some
later
more
evidence
time with.
reveals.
You might want to spend some more time with the book.
Can I flip to the end?
If you flip to the end, you will find that they are quickly thinking that it is the Lady Guinevere Lightly in her grab for power, and she's been visiting this place more and more. And while everyone above might trust her, he does not.
Any inclination who he is?
The author of the
The
journal,
Absol,
the Absol, yes.
who is
Does
not
he?
like
It's not specifically named whom they are, but it's clearly like the writings of an Absol.
His name is Strambly.
Could be.
almost certainly not.
No way to
I think
tell.
it is.
No way
I
to
think
tell.
Chris is secretly pooping himself because he's like, how did she guess that? I thought it was unguessable.
Strambly,
You're right.
yeah. Well,
Alright.
this looks like evidence of malfeasance, even if we don't know who
Evidence of
wrote it.
suspicion of malfeasance.
It's not just malfeasances for malfeasance's sake.
So it's a good start, but I think we should probably check out the rest of these rooms.
Agreed.
Who do
Where
we
to
have?
next?
Who said
So
that?
my inclination is that this area was like who was occupying this area? Do we know? I mean, other than somebody religious. My guess
um,
is
I
Lavender Parlor
my guess is that this used to be a temple to the 8 gods, but it changed.
in like months.
I don't know how long.
Okay.
I've
Well,
I've I've been down here and I don't even remember being down here. So
but you were down here because they were gonna feed you to the
a
demon.
bad thing, yeah. Hmm.
Um,
So theoretically, this could be like it said the lady lightly defiled this floor, so maybe it's been in the last 115 years or so.
Oh,
I mean, there's
that.
a giant marking of an 8-pointed star in the floor right there.
Oh, yeah, that seems accurate.
I think that's pointing more to the possibility of it originally being a temple to the 8.
Okay. Yeah, no,
Why
that's
else would
that.
there be a priest down here?
No, this all seems right. I'm just a little bit surprised that everybody in Hylicera seemingly would not care that a temple to the 8 just went away,
I
unless
mean,
it was
I'm pretty sure this is a secret temple, dude.
okay. Yeah, considering that it's very deep underground, that seems reasonable, and
Not
maybe it was.
wheelchair accessible at all.
Oh God, no. OSHA would have a field day.
OSHA, there is no wall protection in that pit whatsoever. That could collapse at any moment and like immediately kill so many people.
I'm gonna
Never
kind of
mind the.
wander away and go
Okay.
into a different room.
Which room are you going into? Pick a room on the owlbear.
The
I see you
one,
ready to start to wander away, and I just scurry on after him.
the one directly to the left of us, like the
That
smaller.
you were just in there. Sorry, I didn't move your
Oh, you were?
character.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then on the other side. Oh no! Don't eat my Randy book.
No.
Night
Yeah,
Boy.
that.
This one? Okay.
Yeah.
The Randy book looks
Um,
fine.
You
as
can't. What's
you
a nibble?
approach this room, you kind of like press upon the doorway. It starts to actually kind of like crumble a bit at your touch, and you realize that this door is actually not black but charred. And opening and kind of pushing the door, your hand kind of pushes through it, and you kind of shove through the rest of the door. And it's just a scene of utter devastation. Excuse me. Rows of burnt bookshelves. Um, Wooden frames twisted and blackened by fire, scorched tomes and scrolls kind of littering the floor, their pages either completely singed beyond recognition or crumbling to ash. There's still this kind of like smell of smoke faintly in the building. And make an investigation check as you enter.
8.
It's not difficult for you to see that there are charred skeletons in this room. Branwen, if you are immediately following him, you can make an investigation check as well.
You know what you could
Willem.
do with a skeleton?
I do.
15.
Willem just goes. Branwen, you can also see that there are a handful of texts that have survived the flames, and there are some scorched symbols upon, like underneath each of these skeletons. Um, yeah.
I'm just gonna be brushing away stuff so we can see the symbols better, and then while Randy's setting up some speak with dead, I'm just gonna do the and blow the ash off of one of these books and look through it.
Roll a d6.
That is a 4.
Okay. You have found what it is an unmarked book, but it is even picking it up, you can see that this book is unscorched, untouched, and completely preserved. So where even some of the books have borne some degree of damage to them, this one is completely unaffected. As you attempt to open it, though, you find it unyielding to your touch.
Hmm.
Is there any title on the book?
There is no
Yes.
title. It's fully unmarked.
And
It just
it's
doesn't
not
open.
opening.
It does not open.
Like
Hey,
it's
Willem.
locked?
There is
Willem,
no lock,
can
but
you?
it will not open.
This book doesn't like me, Willem.
I'll give it a try.
It does not open.
Cena.
Cena.
Cena just kind of holds like, what am I supposed to pick with this? She kind of shakes it.
Just hold
Take
it.
it with
Just
your
don't try to
fingers.
open it.
Just get in there.
She's
Her nails are very short.
he's always chewing on them.
Just lesbian.
We hand the book to Randy.
Yeah, I'm like propping up the skeleton like in a chair, like to get him ready to. And I see the book come, and I grab it, and I go, and I cast Dispel Magic, and I open the book.
Casting Dispel Magic upon it enables
So
you to
smart.
open the book. The book, very clearly and quickly to you, is a documentation of the original ritual and pact with Azaleas.
Oh shit, that's fucking sick.
Write that down. Write that down.
Right there.
I open it. I go, what was hard about opening that book?
I mean, the whole
We
thing with
loosened
the magic you did probably helped.
No, yeah, I'm just fucking with you. Yeah,
Oh.
this is their whole pact.
Holy shit. Peace.
Yeah, and I hand it to Branwen as I continue like setting up the skeleton. I put a hat on it, and
Oh.
Well, that's cute.
It is cute, actually. I have to sneeze. Hold on.
No,
Don't
you
do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah.
that's so fucked
Yeah.
up. That's so fucked up.
That is so fucked up. You're gonna die now. I will say it will take you some time to read through the book. So if you're reading through it in detail, I can say that this is happening concurrently with Brandy speaking to the skeleton. We'll address you first as you read through this content. You are able to find immediately quoted. We learned that Azaleas cannot die, but she will be bound by us. Her thirst for souls is endless, but we give her only what we choose, for we will always return in new flesh. And Ramwin, it almost immediately clicks for you that Eladrin souls do not pass on. They pass in to new Eladrin, and they effectively reincarnate. So their souls are effectively unbound. And as you read through the text of the book, you learn that the Lavender Parlor always was intent on fooling Azaleas, and they guaranteed them only the souls of Eladrin, who were the most common species in the Lavender Parlor at the time of signing the pact. Um, and at the time of this book being written, only one soul was given. And they determined that this would be how they would punish the wrongdoers in their society, so that bad souls may not come again in the form of new Eladrin. And that they would guarantee both an eternal summer, for lack of better terminology, an effective criminal justice system, and without actually having to give up their own souls or anything of significant value to what is described not as a demon or devil, but a fallen god.
Fucked up. Okay. Can
So
you
they
also just send that to me later?
Yes, indeed.
so they said that they were fooling Azaleas because we were like, our souls don't go anywhere when we die; they just get reincarnated. But we're gonna divert some of those bad ones to feed Azaleas.
Correct. The
So
book
Azaleas
goes
is
on to describe that
very
they.
hungry for souls.
Correct.
The hunger, never enough.
Never enough. Randy.
Yeah, I cast
You
Speak with Dead on this skelly boy who is wearing a hat, I guess, now.
Okay. The Skelly boy is actually a Skelly girl. And
Okay,
they are missing their arms and legs, and their body is charred beyond most recognition. And for those of you tuning in, we have very loose rules with Speak with Dead, because it's cool. And the skeleton kind of twitches, and the green magic burns in its eyes with just a faint of red, and it looks at you, Randy.
Hello. I'm Randy. Who were you?
I am an architect. My name is Stefania.
Good to meet you, Stefania. Architect. What is it that you built or have building
We
or
built
were
this
building?
place. We built this place and maintained this place. It was meant
On
to
rock and
ward
roll.
off the dark energies of Azaleus below, and a testament and art monument to the everlasting nature of the Lavender Parlor.
Who came in here and burnt all this stuff, and also you?
A Lady Lightly.
All right, I got two more questions. What do you guys? You guys have any ideas?
Why?
Yeah. What? Why did the lady lightly burn all this stuff?
Whose hungers? She aims to control what lies beyond it, though she cannot. This was just the start of her craven acts. She called it revenge, but only the beginning.
Um, is there anything that we need to clear up about Azaleus that this person would know?
I think we know what we need to about Azaleus. I mean, you're the one who really wanted to talk to her.
Yeah,
You
that's
you
true.
could ask what exactly Gwen is doing down here.
Yeah.
Context clues?
Well,
Well, like, what's like we know what I don't know how my brain stopped working in words.
I mean, we could ask for exact details, but my understanding, and again, I love leaping to conclusions, is that
You do.
Gwen,
The scene in the background goes, "You do."
this is okay. I guess I'm Willem, not Nolan. Gwen, the people here, this was an important spot for the Lavender Parlor. Gwen, probably with your mom's help or permission, did what she did down here because she wanted to get to Azaleus. The Lavender Parlor was holding Azaleus in check. Put your mom in charge of the Lavender Parlor, and Gwen presumably wants to use Azaleus to exact revenge on everybody. Who knows who? We know Amar, but who knows who beyond that? And she wants to do that by using Azaleus's power, presumably of burning things. And Gwen is also probably the reason why more people recently, it seems, have been getting fed to Azaleus.
No. Sorry. Um, okay. Um, we could ask if she knows of any proof of what Gwen has done here.
yeah.
Like, is there any proof that this was done by Gwen's hand specifically? Something like that.
You could also mention in there that we're trying to bring her to justice, but I'm not sure that skeleton cares.
Is there any proof that Gwen is the one who has done this?
And where can we find it?
And where can we find it?
It's two
That's
questions.
two questions. But the skeleton looks at you and just kind of says, I saw her with my own eyes as I burned, but everything else burned with it. And with that, the light fades from her eyes and she kind of cracks backward and the hat falls off.
Oh man.
Oh, the head.
So I don't know if this is crude, but what if we took this burned up skeleton with us and then we repeated that to the people who need to hear it?
Are there other burned up skeletons here, Chris?
There are.
We should take another skeleton because I can't
We just
touch
need the
this one
skull.
again for 10 days.
Okay.
Let's find some.
That's actually a great
proof.
idea.
Let's find. Can I look at some of just like page through some of these other books that are unburned?
Yes, many of them are original diagrams and notes for the building itself. What you do find are a couple of scrolls that are protected with similar wards as they place an invisible ward over the pit at this particular juncture to ward off
Prevent
the
workplace
effects.
accidents.
Prevent workplace accidents, but also ward off the effects of Azaleus's whisper. And you learn that this place was built not only as like a monument, as Stefania said, but also was effectively built to sanctify the space. This is sanctified ground. And Gwen's act likely undid that. You also find a book that has it's a ledger that is also warded, and it is. Do you open it?
Yeah.
Written on the ledger are 4 names. One of them is crossed out, specifically Branwen Foxbriar.
What are the other names?
The other names are Mortimer Blair, Crescendo Willett, and Op Ira.
Can I get that last one again?
Op Ira.
Opthera?
No, Op Era.
I feel like that's okay.
Opera. Okay.
Is Mortimer Blair the person we were supposed to steal?
We've heard that name.
I believe that was the person who Draken wanted us to steal something from in Old Hallow.
No. 20 to 30 minutes.
History roll. 13.
Don't recognize this name.
Okay, thank you.
What? No, we do. That was Marcus Blackwood's top lieutenant, and he was in the business guild.
Okay, so reused the name. No relation.
He was a tan boat guy with wavy black hair, tied back with a ribbon and fancy clothes.
Oh, and that's crazy. 0 relation.
This is a very different Mortimer Blair.
He was a hottie with the body, but doesn't let women talk.
We know a lot about this guy.
This is just like when I dropped like 2 Talias in a row.
Wow.
That's great.
All right.
Talk about that's a deep cut.
Okay, so can you just change this name, because I will come back to this later and be like, it's all connected.
Okay.
What if it was Gordimer Both?
It's
Thank you,
Blair
Ed
Mortimer.
Mortimer.
No. It's Blair Witch.
No.
It's Blair Witch.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
I just know that I would come back to that and be like, oh my god, is that? Wow. I turned to the exact page his name was
No,
on,
really,
like right
that's
at the top.
crazy.
Impressive.
That was efficient. He's the one that died. He was the one on the boat
I
that
remember this
died.
guy. Yeah.
The hottie with the body that won't let women talk. Okay, what were we? Okay. Are there any others? There's only 4 names in the ledger?
Correct.
They only sent out 4 people to get. That's how. So this is new. This is new. This is a very new pact.
Or Azaleus is very hungry. And they haven't
No,
been...
this is just a.
Branwen, if you think back, like, crimes don't really happen in the summer court.
But nobody knows this is what happens if you're a bad dude.
Correct.
Is. What's his name?
Come on, give some context clues.
In the Wild Hunt, you guys killed him.
Feargal?
Yeah, there's no sign of Feargal in this ledger?
ledger, no.
I think
So this
Feargal's...
isn't. How old was that first pact book?
Old.
Okay, so this is a new ledger.
Or Azaleus is just very hungry, and the Lavender Parlor thought they tricked Azaleus and has been reneging on their end of the deal.
I guess I could have asked the corpse how long ago they made the deal.
Old. Does it say anything? Is there any information besides the names, like what their naughty things were?
No.
Well, if I were a betting man, I would guess that one of them is probably currently dangling over the pit.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, what
fair.
order is my name in this list?
Last.
I'm very curious about that little pit dangler back there.
Yeah, did we pass the pit dangler?
He's not.
Danglin' Steve? Okay. Okay. This is fun.
While they're doing this, I assume that we took the bag of holding from Dunk as we came down. I
Yes.
am
You won't mind.
stuffing a corpse that I haven't talked to yet into the bag of holding.
You just need the head. You don't need the rest of the bones. They're not even attached anymore, Randy.
Branwen, I'll say if you want to make a final investigation check, since you're scanning for books, you may.
Yes, please. That is an 11.
That's okay. All you need is a 10. You kind of kick around. You find in a collapsed bookshelf a thin scroll, but you get the sense that it might still be useful. A scroll of infernal warding.
I hand that to
And
Willem. That seems like a Willem thing.
and a scroll of planar binding.
I hand that to Randy. That seems like a Randy thing.
These
I
boats
hand
sound
out-
like...
I've
I
decided
hand
to
out
give you
loot
all more
based on
consumables.
vibes.
Totally miss what you just said, Chris.
You
You're
now have
trying
a
to give out more
scroll of
consumables.
Oh.
It's like over me like every time, Brian. Jeez.
What? Okay. Shall we
Hold
stick
on.
around?
What did you give me again? Oh, a scroll of planar binding.
Yes. I was just messing around. I'm sorry if that sounded real.
I didn't understand what you said, and then I got confused.
We were just both talking over each other a lot.
It's hard when it's online.
Chris, this is a scroll of infernal warding.
Yes.
Oh,
It's a
cool.
custom item. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I don't know what that does.
Yes. Reading it, you get the sense that it might give you um, protections and advantage against spells from infernal creatures for 1 hour.
Pretty good. Planar Binding's a fun one.
Player binding is a fun one. And should be
It's an
pretty helpful.
absolute Randy spell.
I can already cast that, but now I can
Now
do
you
it
can do it
without
without a spell
using
slot.
Yeah.
Any other rooms around here that y'all are trying to go into?
I mean, we should probably take a look at all of them. But
Yeah.
But also, I feel like time could be slightly of the essence.
You think we got
with
the
what, you
information?
think they're really desperate for this flesh barrel?
I'm more concerned about one of those little guys being like, "Hey, Lady Gwen, you've got little friends here," and she's like, "Oh my god, is it my bastard son?" And we'll be like, "Yes, time to kill."
But don't they have to go through where we are to get to her?
I don't know. Maybe they have magic. They
Not a
probably just
deep
have a
enough.
note tied to a rock, and then they like throw it over the edge, like,
And they go,
uh. You guys don't know what we're referencing, but we do.
that's the important part.
Yes, okay,
Um,
okay.
Go
Hey,
ahead.
And then, based off some miracle, it manages to get to where it's supposed to go, and then they can go get help.
Go ahead and make a importance check by rolling a d20. If you roll a 10 or higher, I might tell you a room that could be worth checking out before you keep going.
12! That's a 12!
I got a 13.
Oh my God! If you looking
he's
across,
so fed up with our shit, he's just like, I'm gonna tell you where you need to go.
so you're standing here, you kind of look across, and you're like, "Dang, what's that room all the way over there? It looks important."
Whoa, I didn't even see that. I was just
Wait,
looking at the
Yeah.
top room. How do you even get there?
wait, which one?
You can theoretically, there's always a little thin landing
I
across
just,
around the way.
oh, I thought that wasn't connected.
Oh no, it is connected.
Oh, okay. I just assumed that all the parts that were lighter were floor, and that was just like across the pit. I
That's
was
what I
like,
thought too.
that's maybe the way out. Okay,
No.
yeah, well,
Okay. You head there, and this space is quite cold in comparison to some of the other rooms. Oh no, my headphones are dying.
Did you say cold or old?
Cold,
I think it's also
cold.
old though.
It is also old. It is very clearly what might be considered a tomb if bodies were buried here. But you know they are not. There are just basically there's like a big number. It's like a mausoleum essentially, where there's plaques on the walls with stone carvings in them. The first three that are lined up in the top left-hand corner bear the names that you read on the ledger. One of those three is defaced. A fourth is pulled down off of the wall and was clearly in the progress of being carved, as you can spell out Bran, and then the carving was halted. Looking more closely at the defaced relief, it appears to be gouged out by some kind of very sharp object, not unlike a glaive. It's left fairly deep scars in the rock, and it has cracked through the name Mortimer and very crudely
I
carved
think you mean
into it.
Blair
Blair
Witch.
Witch.
Sorry, Blair Witch, yes. And very crudely carved into it is the name Feargoal.
Yeah.
I pick
Um,
up the plaque that just says Bran, and I go, who do you guys think Bran was?
Steve just goes, huh. Written above the reliefs is an etching in Sylvan. Bound to the pit, their eternal rest denied by the promise of summer. Their sacrifice sustains our reward.
I'm just gonna look around elsewhere.
Wait, Randy, make a wisdom saving throw. You picked up the
What?
Bran Rock.
Oh no. That's gonna be a 20, dirty 20.
You succeed on the wisdom saving throw, but as you pick up the stone, you're holding it, and the rest of you watch as Randy's eyes go white. And Randy, you are subjected to a point of view vision of the face you recognize as Walder being crushed by your own hands. And you can actually see the bone breaking and blood kind of splatters across your
Oh, the
eyes
smushy
as
head
you
incident.
continue to press down and force your thumbs into the eye sockets until finally warriors come and kind of drag you off of it, but you're still gripping at the face, holding it down into the dirt until finally they kind of like smack your arms down and you feel like your vision go blurry as a gauntleted fist comes crashing down into your head.
And I assume I drop the plaque at this point.
You do drop the plaque. You also, having passed your wisdom saving throw, gain advantage on insight checks for the rest of the day.
Oh my
let's hear it.
god,
Oh my
it's custom
gosh.
built for Stephanie.
This happens, and I like drop it. I'm like breathing heavily, and I look over at Branwen, like kind of like bewildered. And I am just gonna like step over there and like give her a hug.
Hey, what just happened?
What?
Um, all right.
No, sorry, not all right. Your eyes went all white and weird, and then you just gave Branwen a hug for no reason. So, what?
I'm,
Uh,
I'm just gonna wiggle out of the hug.
yeah, I'm not still hugging you.
And I'm just gonna go start looking around, and I think there looks like there's a door over here, so I'm just gonna go start looking over there.
Those rooms are empty. They're more empty stone plaques for more names.
I just kind of walk away from Willem and
So you're just not gonna.
go into the other room.
I'm picking up the brand rock.
Oh fuck!
Make
No.
a wisdom saving throw.
Seeing him go over there, I'm like, wait, shit.
Hey Chris, that would be a nat 1.
Ooh, okie dokie. That
You're cursed
is
to have my dice rolls for the rest of the game.
I'm cursed to have your demeanor.
it's
Drama.
19 psychic damage.
Okay.
And you feel an immense pressure on your eye sockets. And your vision just kind of goes blurry and you're incapable of seeing anything within the vision. Your face feels an enormous amount of pain, and the pain translates itself into that psychic damage where you're just like under the influence of some kind of energy tied to the stone.
Is he just standing there holding it?
He's like
Or did he
grunting
drop
and
it?
like it hurts a lot.
Wait, he's still
Uh,
holding it?
I'm gonna
Drop
try
it.
to rip the stone out of his hands.
Willem, do you resist?
I mean, can I would like to drop it. I would not like to
Oh
continue
yes,
enduring pain.
you can drop it. Yes.
Yeah. Ouch. That sucked. I didn't see anything. It was just black and pain.
Yeah, that's what I got too.
That's me asking Chris. Like there was no glimpse of
You
Branwen's
can't
face.
you can't see anything.
Okay.
You good, man?
No, that shit hurted.
Yeah, I know.
Can you stop touching the obviously cursed thing that has my name on it?
Well, I never would have touched it if I would have gotten an answer.
Yeah, that's what I got too, and it sucked.
Insight check.
You
Both of
don't have
you
advantage on
can,
him, no.
Randy, you can just persuasion or deception. You're lying. You can make a deception check, and
I'm
Willem, you
lying,
can make an
yeah.
insight. Yeah.
Not my story to tell. What can I say? I got a 16.
I got a 14.
All right. Yeah, Willem, you're convinced that is exactly what he was experiencing.
Can we leave this room? I don't like this room very much.
Why?
Are you kidding?
What? It's a cursed rock and it has part of her name on it.
Because
That makes me feel bad.
Okay. I would think you would be curious about it, but
No.
we all know what
okay.
this is. These are the names of.
The names are pretty self-explanatory. What's not explanatory is why when I pick it up my head hurts. And Randy's did too.
Let's just go.
Because it's probably so that they can remember what everyone did to get sent here to probably justify it or some shit.
Yeah, it's mega cursed.
Okay. I'm a little
Or-
bit curious about the rest of them, but I guess we can leave.
Are there anything in these like side rooms, really quick?
No, they're just more empty stone placards.
Okay.
Oh,
Before we
sorry. You
leave,
do find a chisel, a masterwork chisel.
oh,
Yay!
You can carve things now.
Yay!
who wants it?
I feel like Randy could take up chiseling. Just doing
That
some
seems
little
like
carvings.
it seems like a dunk thing to do,
Actually, yeah, let's
frankly.
take it for Dunk.
Yeah, we'll give it to Dunk later. Master
We got him a
work.
souvenir.
It's also things you can sell. Just a heads up.
Yeah.
You
No,
guys haven't been
this
getting
is
a lot
going
of
to
gold
Dunk.
lately.
This is Dunk's
Um,
chisel.
Yeah.
Before we leave, so the other two names were the op era and
Era and
Crescendo Willet.
Crescendo Willick.
I thought it was Crescendo Willet. Yeah.
So did I.
I'm gonna kind of like let everybody else leave the room, and then I want to touch the one that has Feargal's name on it.
Go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh shit! Yeah, 29.
Oh,
No,
negative.
28. Sorry.
Um, it actually, you get the sense that this vision has been warped by the desecration of the stone, and you actually see Feargal's twisted face pulling himself up from the pit itself, and it begins with like the tearing apart of what really look like roots. And he's kind of like grinning at you as from your perspective the whole way that he walks up. And then you can kind of see him like produce this glaive from his own body, and it becomes an extension of his arm, and can see him cut down on the stone.
Okay. I'm gonna touch the other two. I'm touching ops first.
Okay, wisdom saving throw.
Nat 20.
Start saying Phantom of the Opera. I
Yay.
know he's gonna.
No, you receive a vision of an individual that's kind of like poring over a large cauldron, and they're kind of like staring in. You can see the reflection. They're a very fair-skinned Eladrin, and they've clearly trimmed their hair like quite a bit. And they actually kind of reach up, pull a bit of their hair, and toss it into the cauldron. And then they look up, and you just see three individuals strapped to chairs around the cauldron. And they go up and they kind of like pull one of them over it. And just as they're prepared to kind of slit the throat, the vision ends.
That's hardcore.
And I will go and touch the last one.
Make a wisdom saving throw.
That one's the worst one I've got so far. 19.
Shut up.
Okay. Yeah,
I rolled
really,
a
get out
10.
of here. Oh my God, +9? That's
I get +9 on
crazy.
wisdom
For a
saving throws.
19?
Yeah.
Crescendo was the first um, individual sacrificed to the pit. And they are making dissentful comments in the Lavender Parlor, but they are effectively bombarding who you now recognize as a Mar with expletives, and decreeing him as a failure in allowing the Winter Court to persist, when they should be razing it to the ground. And he kind of turns around to a Winter Court ambassador and stabs them in the gut.
Hmm.
Crescendo was not a nice guy.
One might say
After
he had a
this,
rising temper.
I I follow everybody else out of the room after seeing these funny visions.
Um, Anywhere else you'd like to go, or do you descend down?
I guess we should probably keep descending, but I would like to pose a Sorkin question.
Down to Goblin Town. What's
If Blair Witch was on the ledger and sacrificed to Azaleas, why did they scratch out the name and replace it with Feargal rather than adding a fifth thing for Feargal?
He did it I'm assuming he did it himself.
But Blair
Yeah.
was already sacrificed.
That was his old name.
Yeah, he came back as Feargal, I think.
So you think Blair Witch and Feargal are the same person?
I don't think feel like I know.
Did he tell you that?
He told us how he climbed out of oh god, that scared me for a second. He told us how he climbed out of the
Don't
pit of
look.
hell.
He was born in the pit.
Stop
Gold was
looking.
Born in the pit.
I'm not
Golden by
looking.
it. He didn't know the light of day
I'm
until he was
born
out of the
the
pit.
pit.
Okay. Yeah. No,
And
that makes sense.
I feel like I know that glaive pretty intimately.
Yeah, you do.
What a name to choose. Feargal? That's awesome.
I mean,
Better than
Blair Witch was
Witch.
already so cool.
Did a light just come on and start blinding you, Steph?
No, I'm not looking at the
No,
map.
don't look at the owl bear.
Oh.
Okay, you
just
can look
minimize it.
again.
Okay, I can look again.
I just changed it to a previous level.
Oh, I was like, we went up? Okay.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought, yeah.
No, you're going down.
So, okay. Man, I really am just slow on things, I guess.
Yeah, the mural was
Context.
defaced and Feargal carved into it.
Yeah,
Not
which
like
made
by
me
a
think,
good thing. In a bad way.
yeah.
In a show of like I'm back.
Oh, like a brag.
Like, fuck you
Exactly.
guys.
Like you thought you had me? Wrong.
I'm
Well,
Feargal now.
that means that souls can escape from the pit, so that's good to know.
That is great. Good for them. If you
Is it
were
good
thrown
to
in the pit, well, Branwen, like even if you were thrown in the pit, you could have gotten out. Doesn't that feel kind of good?
Have you met Feargal?
Yeah,
It's not
he
good.
almost killed me.
Yeah, he's technically is actively killing me
Well,
in a way.
Passively.
Oh yeah, passively killing me.
coming back as a
So,
Feargal couldn't be the worst thing in the world.
Did you remember how he was a ghost and also looked like he was full of worms?
I think he was full of worms. I
It
don't want
was.
to be full of worms.
That guy was cool.
Sina, would
Yeah,
you still want me if I was full of
you're
worms?
you're a lesbian. That's definitely, you don't want to be full of worms. That's the whole thing.
I don't think she would still love me if I was full of
As you
worms.
continue to descend down,
She didn't answer.
yes, of course, honey. I would love you if you were still a worm.
If you were still full of worms.
No, but let's see if I was a worm, not if I was full of them.
Sorry, if you were full of them,
If you were
yes,
riddled
I
by
would.
parasites.
As you descend, the 10th level just based on the fact that you've been counting, is largely empty, emulating many of the nondescript floors that you've passed up until this point. The landing slopes down and into the side of the pit once more. And as you come down to this first landing, you find the derelict remains of a steel smelter visible against the far wall. You can kind of immediately get the sense that at some point civilization lived down here, and that it has either been cleared out or this could also be the early signs of like babaus living here. They've just kind of descended into madness.
They are the
Um,
descent.
you can make a perception check as you enter this landing.
That's a 25. Getting 24.
Branwen, you immediately notice clear signs of a crude campground setup, but clearly more put together than most.
I will go investigate it.
It is like a well put together camp. There's tents, lean-tos, a recent fire, and supplies all set up. You get the sense that there might be four of them.
So sorry, I just zoned out for a second. So 4 people that like stay here.
Actively, potentially, yes.
When you say recent, like, are the embers of the fire still hot?
Oh yeah, big time.
Okay.
Let's quiet down, shall we?
Yeah. And you said
Um,
well put together, so it does not look like it's babaus, probably from context clues.
Context clues definitely not babaus. You see a very fine sword propped up against one side of the walls. You see, decent sized boots, like might be like Randy sized boots, kind of propped up by one of the tents.
Should
I'm going to
we
just
wait
not
for
move and
them
look
to come?
around to see if somebody is about to ambush us.
I would say your perception is high enough to not notice anyone in the immediate vicinity.
Okay.
Should we wait until they come back?
Do I recognize the sword?
No, it's just a sword.
Maybe hide and wait for them to come back.
I'm gonna rifle through some tents because I'm nosy.
Yeah, man, rifle through that shit.
Make an investigation
Oh,
check.
but when I try to rifle through a cursed rock, it's no, Willem, don't pick that up.
Well,
The one that immediately caused a bunch of necrotic damage to us?
No, the one that caused psychic damage to me. Um,
and me too.
17.
You find like what is essentially a lot of adventuring supplies. Um, what'd you roll?
No journal, no name tags.
No journal, no name tags. But what did you roll?
17.
Yeah, you would be able to tell that like some of like the food rations and things of that nature are pretty old. So like while it all looks fairly recent in terms of like people have been here, that some of the equipment's pretty worn, dated, potentially expired. It's an odd combination of like they've clearly been here recently, but maybe haven't been going through their supplies. Um, Branwen, Randy, what are you doing?
I'm just keeping a watch. I'm just gonna
Okay. Go ahead and make an active perception check.
nat 20, baby.
Nice. You are able to hear with a decent advance, kind of the sounds coming from around the corner of the smelting room. It's a sequence of footsteps echoing down the empty hall, bouncing off the
I
loudly off the stone
immediately
walls.
I immediately
They are
send telepathic
talking
messages to them.
to them or to Willem
No,
and
no, no,
Randy.
to the yeah. Because I'm
Okay, to
assuming
Willem and
C1
Randy.
got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, you can hear them talking, but it's indiscernible. Um, Well, you rolling as well as you did, you can hear that they're like very clearly just kind of like chatting about the day's findings. Like, oh, we went into this room that we hadn't been into previously, and we found a barrel of salt pork, but it's pretty dated. So they're just kind of like talking supplies. Um, Willem, Randy, what do you do in response to this information? Willem, you
I'm
are actively in a tent.
I'm hiding in this tent.
Okay, make a stealth check with advantage. And Randy,
I
what
will
are you
also
doing?
hide.
They're speaking infernal.
Common.
Oh, common. Sorry, I missed that. What are they saying?
They're just talking about like supplies that they found.
18.
18, Willem, okay. Hiding, Branwen hiding. What's your stealth?
Dirty 20.
Okay, Cena rolled a nat 20. Randy, what are
She's
you
so
doing?
great.
I'm not gonna hide.
You're just gonna stand there?
Um, with well, we have the barrel, right?
Yes.
We would also have to hide the barrel.
I'm gonna need
Um,
a decision from you.
I, I'm I'm just gonna stand there with the barrel.
Okay. So you are standing next to the barrel, and you see first a pair of individuals. One, a barrel-chested man walking with a cane, but he looks far too young to be walking with a cane. He seems to be favoring his left leg. He's wearing dented but relatively like well put together armor, and his head is clean shaven, but he has a trimmed beard into a little bun at the end, like he has a nice, well trimmed beard. He's walking alongside another well-armored warrior woman who is of like similar age. So they're clearly up there. They are not Eladrin, but they are of humanoid nature. Um, and they're kind of like fumbling with the sword in their hilt. There are also two individuals behind them, a woman wearing a big pointy hat, and a petite gnome who's kind of like holding on to her leather armor and like tugging on it. And she looks up at you and she goes, "I yippee!" She kind of points at the barrel that you're standing in front of. And each one of them like make a perception check.
Can you say all of that again in a regular voice?
My accent, this doesn't make any sense. She says, "Who the fuck are you, and what the fuck is that?"
Oh, okay.
To the
Kind
barrel.
of what I thought.
Um,
Roll what?
she roll a perception check.
Uh, 16.
Guys, let's say something nice about Chris while he can't hear us.
She's
What
so
a
in the
great
sky.
DM that guy is. What a
Every
fucking.
session is the most incredible session.
This has the potential to be a legendary session.
It's
Legendary.
always
Can
a
y'all
legendary session.
can y'all still hear me?
Whoa, he's back.
Whoa. You can hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What did you roll for perception?
16.
You can, as you're kind of looking directly at the gnome who was like kind of shouting at you, you can very quickly see that she doesn't know which side, like she kind of shoots for her left, but her dagger is on her right hand side. So she like shoots for her left and then immediately changes over and pulls out a dagger and like points it in your direction. And the other people very quickly like draw their weapons. So the man on the crutch kind of like pulls back behind the group.
I'm gonna. Oh, hey. I'm unarmed. I'm just passing through with this flesh barrel. I just gotta take this down. So I'm
Down? You're
Randy.
going down? What do you? You live here?
No, I'm from up there.
So what are you doing here with a barrel of flesh?
Well, that's kind of a long story, actually. So I came from up through the. Have you guys met the Babaus? They're like a few levels up.
Um, at this point, one of the individuals, the woman wearing a pointy hat, is going to start looking through the tents. Um, and she will roll to
Can
see if
I?
she can find. She rolled in that one, so she
I'm
very quickly kind of just like pokes her head into things. And Willem, you like actively see the thing like furl open, and she like frantically looks around, but you kind of tucked yourself behind like a
I'm going
footstool.
under the covers.
Yeah, you're just able, and she's clearly like looking around frantically.
I'm gonna send Randy a telepathic message. You want another buddy?
I'm gonna send back. Should I just tell them you guys are here? They seem not harm, like they don't want to hurt us.
I'll come. What if I come out and we see how they react to that?
Okay. And
I'm
I'll
just
say,
gonna step out.
well, I want to say first, I'm like, well, and you know, I'm not alone down here. I got a buddy or two, but I promise, like we're just here to like pass through.
Jumps, and like the woman in the pointy hat will like kind of conjure a font of magic between her hands, and they'll immediately kind of like form a little bit of a diamond formation as Branwen and Cena come out. But they'll look at you and go, "You've been up there, the higher levels."
What, like
Yeah.
it's hard?
How long have you guys been like down here?
Just a few days. We came in through this cave system, stumbled out here, but left a rock fall behind us. That's how Timok hurt his leg.
Oh shit.
And Timok kind of like pops out and gives you a nod, but he eyes you suspiciously.
Yeah, we didn't even know if there's any other like way to get in here.
We came looking for this place. Heard about it in one of Thariel's children's stories. Thought we might
Oh
find
no.
something of value down here.
That guy didn't even write those stories.
Yeah, he did.
No,
He
he
didn't
didn't.
actually.
I met the real writer. His name was Ted, and he was a robot.
It's true, actually.
What?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. So
I'm just gonna poke my head out of the tent and go, "Hi guys."
You're trying to bushwhack us.
Oh,
that's the last. I promise. I mean, we got one more guy, but he's
He's
Way up
asleep.
there, way asleep.
Yeah, he's out for the night.
He's doing a honk shoe for
Roll
sure.
this inside check, and they kind of lean back. Fair enough. So, what exactly are you all doing here if you didn't? And what is that? And give us a good
Don't worry about it.
reason not to kill you for
All
transporting
right.
whatever that is.
So in order, again, it's gonna sound crazy when I say it out loud, but I was going through all the bows. There's some crazy ass
What's
like
the
again,
bow?
if you haven't, you don't. Okay, so they're like big and they're kind of like and they're more or less not good. So we tricked them into thinking that we had to.
Here, I'll draw a picture of one of them.
Yeah. She'll draw a picture. So in order to come down here, that's what they look like. They
Oh,
look
shit.
kind of like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
In order to get down here, we had to sneak by, and the best way to do that was to pretend that we were sent by the mistress, who is Willem's mom. And but not related. They don't like each other. Don't worry. And then we brought this barrel down here, and we think that it might help us to continue to get down there, as is our goal. So that's why the barrel is here. No real attachment to it, besides the fact that it might get us further down. But right now, it seems to be not helping us quite as much in this conversation because
It's actually been quite
very
cumbersome to carry. And it's full of probably Selfina Duke.
No.
that's a game theory by Willem.
Stop.
We don't.
Okay, stop telling these people everything.
What are you guys doing here?
We came in search of treasure. Timok hurt his leg in the rock fall. Sorry. My name is
So did
Zelda.
you
Zelda.
Okay.
Zelda
Nice to meet
Bartlett. This is Timok 2. And she kind of gestures to the knight with his crutch. That's Hackish, sorceress. And that there little girl is Karina, kind of like kind of ships her arm around and waves at you.
It's really nice to meet you guys.
Oh, I'm Willem the Hagsbane.
That's it. Hagsbane.
I've baned a hag or two in my day, yes.
It's a fine catch. Trophy, even. I'm sure you kept something from it.
I did cut off one's head, but I was asked to leave it behind.
A fine trophy. That's Zelda, by the way. I'm not changing my voice. Zelda kind of shifts back and goes, "In my day, I've slayed many a beast."
Cool.
Like what? What kind of beast did you slay?
Yeah, what's like the biggest beast you've slain?
The
You know, if we're
biggest
like here, we might as
beast
well go.
is the name is deceiving. It's not a minotaur, it's a minotaur. They're actually quite large. Slayed one of those.
Should call it
Um,
Maxitor.
put that in a letter. One of those book writers might be interested in jotting that down.
Our friend speaks Minotaur.
Dunk?
Yeah.
Oh,
Does he?
I didn't know that about him.
I just remember him mentioning it last time.
I actually think you're right. Yeah. They're gonna like kind of. They don't sheathe their weapon, but they have relaxed a bit, and they look at you and they go, "You're taking that below. We hear strange sounds from below."
Like what?
And looks around to the group, moaning, whimpering. People in pain down there. And you bringing that down there. You've endeared us to yourself to us for now, but you have to understand why that's not a great look.
She and I actually have a bet. I think it's probably for eating. She thinks it's for necromancy.
Well, all the same, people are hurt down there. And as soon as we're back to full strength, we intend to do something about it.
So you've been down here for a few days, you said, looking for treasure?
Yes.
And you didn't come from up there. You're working your way up?
We came through a cave system, and she can actually kind of like point you down the hallway where you can see a large rock fall that's kind of like fallen into the landing.
Do you know where you are right now?
But the foggiest.
Okay,
Be
you're
very
underneath the summer court, just so you know.
Well, we're aware of that much.
Okay.
We've seen what was clearly like remnants of the palace or potentially where it used to be. We're pretty far from it based on where we entered. I don't think we've gone far enough to get to the palace. So it's peculiar to see things like that, but clearly summer court construction.
Yeah, we were just there.
We haven't gone any higher. We've heard the beastie sounds above. We tend to camp out at the Cooper storeroom. A lot of barrels inside, not unlike that one. It's down by the other stairs, but we haven't ventured further down given the sounds coming out of there. We camp there so we can watch the stairwell.
Yeah. Um, it's you probably know this, but it's very dangerous down here. Like real bad stuff.
I mean, we can hear enough, but we're capable. Just Timok hadn't hurt his leg, and he kind of looks down sheepishly.
Um, do you need a little like oh, I can heal people?
Certainly wouldn't say no. The bone still needs time to set, though. Traditional cleric magic isn't gonna mend a bone.
Oh.
Not even if
Chris,
I
how
cast Mending.
Chris,
It's a cantrip.
how long have we been down here so far?
Wager that it's like probably getting pretty late in the day. Like actually not even late in the day, probably early in the night. Just based on how long you've been walking and the exploration that you've done and the short rest that you took.
So we have gone a significant more distance in a day than they have in several days from the sound of things.
They have only looked on the floor above and they like started to go down the stairs as they describe it. They are actively camping here waiting for his leg to get better.
Okay.
I mean, the question is more of should we also rest here? Do we trust them enough to also rest here?
Are we having a private conversation?
I'm just thinking out loud, honestly. More to explain to Chris why I was asking that question.
Okay.
Hey, so you guys know that if you do try to leave, I mean, obviously you got to wait for that bone to kind of heal, but going up, you're gonna come across a lot of things that will want to kill you on sight, unless you're carrying a barrel of flesh. Um,
I think we're quite
This one's
capable.
ours.
I know, I believe you. I don't know. We're just chilling here. We're going in opposite directions. Do you guys want some company for a night? We could swap stories about all the things we've killed.
Zelda kind of looks around at the group and goes, don't see why not.
Awesome.
You guys seem very chill for being in Mega Hell.
You
Just
know,
what we've been calling it.
We're getting used
Listen,
to
we're
it.
adventurers by trade. We do this kind of thing for a living. We know that any spelunking activity could be our last, and but if the payday is good enough, it makes it all worth it.
So it's just for money. There's no personal attachment at all.
To one another? We're all close friends, I suppose. You bond over time. Each of us has
Do
a
you guys
reason
ever
for being here.
do you guys ever get like really like on each other's nerves and get in a lot of fights for maybe several days on end?
No, we like each other.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, we don't do that either.
Sometimes when you fight, it's because you care.
Sure. I mean, I
Just
care.
putting that out there. Are any of you sleeping together?
Zelda kind of like make an insight check.
One of them is a child.
I thought she was
She's
just
not
a
a
gnome.
child. She's just a gnome.
Oh.
Racist.
this is
Uh,
very dungeon meshy.
18.
You can see Timok kind of look at Zelda and blush a little bit, but Zelda has no reaction and
Oh,
goes, "No." And
me
you
and Cena just
actually
high five.
you see a flash of surprise across Timok's face.
Oh. Um, some of us are. You'll never guess who.
Cena high five.
Is it the lesbian?
It is 100% the lesbians, yeah.
Can always tell.
Lesbians? Or when people are sleeping together?
Both.
That's quite a talent you've
That
got.
is a skill on both counts.
Well, when you've spent enough time at the Maroon Mare's Tavern in the Spring Court, you tend to get a pretty good idea.
Mm.
Is that a lesbian bar? Cool. This plane is so progressive. I don't like it here, but
Spring Court is a very interesting place, but
It's a
It is.
very lesbian
we were
court.
actually we were there prior to coming here. We saw this incredible new artist. Karina was a big fan. Chap Elf Gnome.
I just got the maroon mare, pink pony. Okay, yeah, okay. You're cute. You're
Oh
cute.
boy. Look how proud of himself he is. Look at him. Look at him.
Bort needed to physically go away because of
Yeah, I thought he just
what just
left. Huh?
happened.
He went bye bye. Bye bye.
We can show you to the Cooper's room. We have this camp, but we haven't. But we've kind of been switching sides depending on the time of day. Cooper's room is closer to the stairwell,
Some
and
of
you
your
could.
rations look very old. Sorry, I was just rifling through.
You were going through our stuff.
Didn't honestly expect you to be here at all. Thought maybe the pit got you.
I
Oh.
thought you would be here.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, who cares about eating expired food? It all goes to the same place.
It's a Best Buy date.
Right.
Okay. Just wondering. Okay. We eat pretty good. This guy over here, he's a pretty good cook. You ever have scramble?
That's when you whip the eggs up, right?
Yes.
Yes, it's so good.
I haven't had eggs in some time, but yeah, sounds pretty good.
Oh
I
man,
guess
Dunk has all of our eggs.
So
I
you guys
guess
are gonna
let's go
take
to the
a long rest.
Cooper's room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You get to the Cooper's room, and they take you in. Where's my
And
Cooper
shoot
room?
us all in the back of the head. Surprise!
Yep.
They're actually all babows.
Oh man. They go,
Wow.
surprise!
There are a fair number of broken crates, splintered barrels. There are some remains of old supplies, but they've clearly picked over this stuff a decent amount. Um, there is you can see amongst all the things are a fair number of like decent supplies. A bundle of thick hempen rope, um, and you get the sense that it might be a little bit, it has like almost a faint glow to it. Um, and that it might be a little bit more than meets the eye. You also see that they've rolled out some pretty crude bedrolls, but make a perception check as you enter.
Bad.
10.
23.
Randy, you know, like a bit peculiar that only two bedrolls are in here for the group of four. You're welcome to spread out. Obviously, there's not a lot of room in here, but some of us can go to the other campground, and you all can stay here with Karina, Timok. You stay here tonight.
Hey Chris, I would like to just real quick do a channel divinity and use that to.
You can
Give me a
channel
moment.
divinity?
Yeah, man, I'm a paladin.
I didn't know that.
It's actually not a channel divinity, it's just an action. Until the end of my next turn, I would like to know the location of any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet of me that is not behind total cover.
Celestial Fiend. What
Or
else?
undead.
It doesn't do Fey.
No.
It's not detect good or evil.
No, it's just an action.
Oh, weird.
There are no Celestials or Undead or whatever the other one was.
Fiends?
No Fiends.
Okay. I was a little worried that they might be shapeshifters.
Hmm.
Fair. Um, okay. Yeah, so you guys
I
are
will go
Ooh,
take
And
watch with them.
okay.
as a safety measure, right before Zelda leaves, I do want to reach your brain real quick. See
Okay.
what she's thinking about.
It's a Wisdom
Yep, wisdom 16.
16? You're not 17 now?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it is 17. Thank you.
They succeeded.
Okay.
Surface level is surprised that he's here so soon.
Ah, fuck. Oh, fuck. Um. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Uh, I wide-eyed look at Willem. But we're
Uh,
in the tent with like the two other people, right?
you're in a room with Timok, and it's now Timok, Randy, Willem. Branwen goes outside with Karina to
Where's
keep watch over
Cena?
the stairwell. Cena is also in there with you.
I'm just gonna return Randy's wide-eyed look and smile and be like,
So Hakesh and Zelda went to the other campsite to keep watch on the other side. Karina, Branwen. Oh, you can now open the. Actually, you can't yet. Karina and
"So what?"
Branwen are right outside the door, watching over the stairwell, where you can indeed hear quite a bit of moaning. And you all are in there, Randy, Cena, Willem, with Timok.
So I'm just gonna turn to Timok and be like, couldn't help but notice what happened out there when I said the comment about sleeping together. It's rough.
Yeah, yeah. A bit odd. She tends to, she hasn't been herself lately.
Is it like a new thing, or have you been together for a while,
Well,
or
we
are you
were,
not together?
the not together is pretty recent.
Oh, again, rough. I mean, I know how stressful adventuring can be, very trying on interpersonal relationships sometimes.
Well, for all intents and purposes, everything was good.
What happened? If you don't mind me asking, I know we barely know each other. That's pretty personal.
It's just, she said she was thinking about leaving this life behind. Um, this
You're in
would
a
be the,
very dangerous place. Do you know that?
I mean, we're not strangers to danger.
Okay, but like this is advanced danger.
And we are advanced adventurers.
Okay. Do you know what's down there?
Fiend, I fought my fair share of those.
Okay. You're not correct.
I remember being young like you, thought I could do everything and do it all, and talk to my elders the same way you do.
Mean and no disrespect. I'm just
You should
trying to.
work on your tone more then.
Oh yeah.
It's in the
I'm
tone.
sorry. It's just you know, you are in a very dangerous place and you seem like a nice enough guy and you got a hurt leg and it's just like
Oh, I'm
I
hurt
don't know.
because I didn't see you. Slipped, broke on the rocks. I'm the one
Yeah.
slowing us down. Karina and Zelda, they went deeper and they just said it could a lot down there that we could see. But I'm the one holding us up.
Can I insight check this guy to see if he's lying about his leg?
Sure.
I got a nat 20.
He is not lying about his leg.
Okay.
He seems pretty distraught by all this. Um, like the probing questions about his relationship, the fact that he's the one that's hurt, the fact that like just all of this is happening in a dangerous place. He's stressing, but you can tell this is not a circumstance he tends to find himself in of
Okay.
stress.
Hey, whose idea was it to kind of go down the caverns and look for a treasure down here?
It was something we always talked about. We've all read the books. Thought it would be worthwhile.
The Thariel stories.
Yeah.
And they just mention that, oh, under the summer court, there's treasure to be found.
No, they talk about the tomb of a dead god. And
Oh,
you can only find tombs underground. So we find a cave. We'll 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 spelunk it.
and Spelunk you have.
Branwen, how are things going with Karina?
I'm just looking around
Miss
for.
Randy?
Um, at, at the end of that conversation, I would like to get up and leave, and I want to talk to Zelda. Or I'm like going to go to the other camp.
Okay, so Branwen, you're kind of standing there, like kind of propped up against the wall, looking down the staircase, as Randy exits the room, and he just kind of like waves and walks over to the other side of the. It's pretty. I mean, it's a walk. It's a 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah,
So
I'm
yeah,
just
Branwen.
keeping an eye out. Probably not trying to make any conversation.
Okay. Make a perception check.
That is a 13.
All you can hear and see, like you see nothing but like as far as your dark vision will afford you down the stairs. And you can just hear like the perpetual kind of low moans and like grumbles of people below. like that. Randy, so you're not going to engage with Karina. Okay, she doesn't engage with you.
This is we're in a very comfortable silence.
Randy, you head around the bend and find the other campsite where you find Zelda kind of like propped up against the wall, looking out from like the up the stairs that you came down. And Hakesh is kind of like by the fire, flinging like a little magical ball between her hands. And you approach as she kind of turns to Zelda and goes, "Bit weird that you'd say you had no feelings for Timok." Um, and Zelda replies, "What? Oh, yeah. I just want to move on."
Can I like before approaching? Is there like a spot where I can kind of eavesdrop for a little bit longer without them noticing me?
Make a perception, sorry, a stealth check.
12.
Timok, not Timok, who's over there? Zelda kind of, Akesh is completely oblivious to you. But Zelda kind of whirls around. Oh, thought you were over with the others. Something I can help you with?
Yeah. No, I spend all day with Willem and Cena and Branwen. I think I don't know. Could have used a change of company. Is it okay if I hang out here for a little while?
By all means.
Um. So what? Who's So what do you? I mean, looking for treasure down here, yeah, but like, what kind of like? Is there anything like mega cool? Even like lower?
We haven't been too far down. Just we scoped out the next floor, but heard quite a bit of scuttling around down there, so wanted to wait till Timok's leg as well before we move any deeper.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Um.
Do it.
You should do it.
I cast Zone of Truth.
Not what I was thinking you were gonna do.
I
Okay.
honestly didn't know what you're gonna do.
What is the save on that?
17. Right?
Good question.
Was what Kai?
Yeah, it's a Charisma 17.
Charisma.
She fails. And Hakesh immediately leaps up and kind of like, because there's a visual component, right? Yeah, and she kind of like lashes out, like
What does it
prepares.
say?
Yeah,
Visual somatic, yeah.
yeah.
It's
You kind of
verbal somatic.
Verbal somatic. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Prepares a bit in her hand and goes, "What are you doing?"
You'll have to forgive me. It's just a little bit of. It's nothing that's gonna hurt you. It's just a zone of truth. How do you know Willem?
Zelda just kind of stares at you.
I know a lot more than I, let on. I'm stupid, but I'm not dumb.
Again, she just continues to stare at you.
What's the other one doing?
Jess is just kind of looking there. Is that your friend?
Can I insight check the one who doesn't who the not Zelda to
Yeah,
Timbuktu?
it's not Timok. It's Hakesh.
Oh, Hakesh, right. The insight's gonna be 19.
She's very confused.
Okay,
Like,
but
doesn't understand what
Zel-
you're doing, has only just learned the name Willem from like you moments ago.
and can I insight check Zelda to see how she's reacting?
Um, yeah, I say you can use like kind of the same role because you're kind of looking
Yeah.
between them. She's just giving you a very cool demeanor, like just a long glare.
Not compelled to answer.
Indeed.
Um. Just feels like if you recognized me, maybe should have said something.
I didn't recognize you.
Wait, what'd you say?
I didn't recognize you.
Oh, not me. Willem, right?
I think you've overstayed your welcome. Maybe you should go back, Thompson. You hear Kakesh in the background. Zelda, what's going on? What's this guy talking about?
Yeah, Zelda, what is going on?
Kakesh, go get the others. Let them know there's a problem.
Hakesh, she's lying to you about something because she's in a zone of truth and she's choosing not to answer my question, and she wouldn't do that
I
unless
don't
she
know
was
you.
lying.
Hakesh kind of like, you can see her hand kind of shaking. We don't know you.
You don't.
So she doesn't have to answer anything to you. I'm getting the
Of course
others.
not. What
We'll
harm
figure
would it
this
do to
out.
answer a question?
Make a persuasion check.
Do I hear any of this? Any
No, it's a decent ways away.
heated? Okay.
I'm trying to do it kind of quietly too. I don't want to alert too many people. Oh my god, a third Nat20.
Wow.
I'm fucking doing it today.
Kesh keeps one bit of magic like in her hand trained on you, and she'll turn the other towards Zelda. Answer a question, Zelda. The next one he asks.
How do you know Willem?
Bane is known to us all.
Uh, to you all? And I look at Hackish.
She shakes her head.
He's here early. What does that mean?
We didn't expect him this soon.
Are you working for Gwen?
Sorry, I was looking over something. Okay, go get the others. Akesh stays rooted to the spot.
Oh, you got yourself a Mexican standoff.
Hackish, you know who Gwen Lightly is, correct?
Never heard of her.
He's
These are
she's
not Summer Eladrin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Um yeah, she happens to be um a hag of the Summer Court who sits on the Verdant throne currently. Horrible bitch of a woman, and is maybe a very evil person, and has tried to kill many people, and is generally not great. Has kind of ruined a lot of the things up there. Um, and then I turn back to Zelda. What's your relationship with her?
Make a Constitution saving throw.
Dirty 20.
You look down just for a moment and see like the flash of a blade uh, go straight into your gut. And like you're immediately hurt by the piercing damage. Um, for 3 piercing damage. But like a wave of nausea overtakes you, and like your eyelids flutter